In today's episode, I sat down with the Mayorettes, which we'll describe here as a lifestyle brand of sorts, focused on uplifting community through advocacy and connections in the small business and nonprofit world of Northern Colorado. The Mayorettes is currently comprised of Kerrie Lugenbill, the very recently married Jackie, formerly Christman, now Stevens, and Giuli Diaz. 3 full-time, high-impact working professionals sharing and combining their talents to move the needle toward generosity in the NOCO region. And part of the job is they go to a lot of galas, and given this service, they've gotten very good at drinking wine. We killed 3 bottles during this conversation, and we learned a lot about how 3 very diverse professional women came together to spark a movement. And no, they did not realize how closely their name sounds to the Majorettes, the 1967 cult classic slasher film. We had a ton of fun, and you will too, getting to know 3 business-leading ladies building community together. And so now please enjoy, as I did, my conversation with the Mayorettes. Welcome to the LOCO Experience Podcast. On this show, you'll get to know business and community leaders from all around Northern Colorado and beyond. Our guests share their stories, and through it all, you'll be inspired and entertained. These conversations are real and raw, and no topics are off limits. So pop in a breath mint and get ready to meet our latest guest. Welcome back to the LOCO Experience Podcast. My guests today are Kerrie Lugenbill, the Chief Growth Officer at OTM, Jackie Stevens in the middle, the owner of Gallipot Salon and the gallery at Gallipot, and then Giuli Diaz, the Global HR Leader at Beckman Coulter Life Sciences. So I'm honored to collectively call you the Mayorettes and welcome you to the LOCO Experience Studio.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Who would like to take the first question, which is, what the heck is the Mayorettes?
You already did it today, Giuli.
All right.
You want to take it away?
Oh,
yeah, definitely. So we, the 3 of us, have been supporting nonprofits for the last, 3 to 4 years. I actually met Kerrie through, she invited me to Rotary, so I had that connection of community. So one wonderful day in Arizona, we decided, why don't we do something with this? Why don't we take it further and support nonprofits in the community, highlight the good they're doing? We found out that there's 2,500 in Larimer County plus nonprofits, which is a lot, right? So we support it all. We support it from child advocacy all the way down to baby squirrels, just because there's so many different sectors in nonprofits.
Sure.
So we decided to use our social platform, our business connections, and our network to start the Mayorettes. So we meet with nonprofits, we get to know who they are, we tour their area, and then we start highlighting them, all the good work they're doing. So it goes beyond the events. It goes to really connecting, understanding the deep root of why they got started, and then what support they might need. So already we've had a lot of nonprofits reach out to meet up with them and, be able to connect with them and see how we can collaborate. One thing I will say is we're not a business. We're not taking any funds. No, this is, obviously you heard, we have full-time jobs and business owners. So that's not something that we're taking in. We really just wanted something to fill our cups and decided to do that together, the 3 of us.
A little more intentional structure behind this kind of shared culture, I suppose.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, and it's cool because we all have very different networks. We all have very different networks.
Yeah.
Jackie's very involved in the arts. She's a performer herself. I've been very, very involved in the Rotary Club of Fort Collins and all of the Rotary clubs in our district. So I'm involved in the district level, which is Northern Colorado and all of Wyoming.
Which is so funny because your Rotary Club is like 40... 70-something.
I was going to say, be careful what you say.
Plus you and a couple of other awesome young people.
Yeah, well, and I think that is part of why we decided to do this and focus so heavily on nonprofits. So I recruited Giuli into the Rotary Club of Fort Collins. And a lot of people look at me right away and they go, I'm sorry, I thought that the Rotary Club of Fort Collins was for a bunch of old men. And I'm looking at them going, well, do I look like an old man? But that being said, we feel like there's a gap in philanthropy and the younger business owners coming up and people getting promoted and generational transitions happening in a lot of our local businesses. We're not seeing as much philanthropy. And so part of our goal and the reason it's not a business and not a nonprofit is that we're not trying to compete for dollars. We're trying to make it cool. to go to events and to sponsor and to get your business
and
involved.
for local business stuff too, right? It feels like, when I got into banking 25 plus years ago now, like the whole community really appreciated the local business owners, and when I grew up in North Dakota, the local business owners were the ones that helped the football team get pads for the team and different cool things, and they still do all that. But now there's kind of this, the business owner is the man, and the man is keeping me down kind of thing going on. And so culturally, it's like even the nonprofit support stuff, it's like people are like, well, the government will take care of you if you really have any problems, right? And that isn't really true. That's why we have 2,500 nonprofits trying to do good things.
So many of them. And we don't only highlight nonprofits. So we're also trying to highlight the local businesses in the community that are doing really great things. So, Julie posted on our Instagram page, which is where a majority of our content is right now. So we are starting as a lifestyle social brand, so predominantly on Instagram, but she highlighted Maida, and you probably know the owners of Maida, and they're very locally invested. They own mugs.
And previously some crazy startup thing.
That was focused, community funded. It was focused on nonprofits.
Same thing.
So, we're trying to connect everybody that's very philanthropy minded and community minded, and make sure that everybody understands there are a lot of resources here. And if you own a business and you want to do a fashion show and you're trying to find a nonprofit that aligns with your mission, there are so many options. Don't go and start a nonprofit, or don't, avoid that because you don't know where to go. So we want to be a resource.
And if you're like, if you're like a boutique brand like Tula or something like that, and you've got kind of all these kind of exclusive kind of clothes and stuff, letting abused and neglected kids have a fashion show with some of your cool stuff, and engaging your client base in supporting that and supporting those kids, like.
Yeah, well, I think Jackie could probably speak to that a lot, because she owns a salon and an art gallery. So naturally, very similar to that. Do you want to talk about some of the projects we've been doing at the gallery?
Yeah. So, for example, last week at the salon, we hosted a Mother's Day event for Joy and Justice. Joy and Justice is a fantastic local nonprofit that's fairly new. It was originated and born out of a terrible, tragic situation locally here, but it focuses on providing joyful experiences to mothers and children who have left a bad domestic violence situation. The justice part of it also, focuses on educating the justice system on what to look for in situations like this to prevent the tragedy that this nonprofit was born out of. But anyway, so we had a private experience at the salon and gallery for mothers and their children in this program, and we provided makeovers and blowouts for the moms. And then next door in the gallery, the kids were making vases and flower arrangements for their moms, and it was just a wonderful day of, and that was a perfect example of how we want to help support businesses and nonprofits coming together and providing one of a kind experience. Well.
I already shared this story briefly on our Short Form podcast, but we have a new office cleaner who moved here with her, I think, kids. I met her daughter, but I think she's got 2 kids in her car on gas cards and escaped a yucky situation. And when her car broke down a few months later, she had gotten a job, thankfully, but she went to a daily rental place to rent a car by the day. And the dude hooked her up with a car with fresh tires and an oil change and some other stuff for $250. He heard her story and was like, here, let me just do this instead of renting you this car for this week for $250. Let's just, here it is. And it was a jump starter for her to really feeling like, I can do this. And she's prospering now, and it was really cool story to hear. And it comes down to where do you have extra opportunity? You've got a salon. You have certain times and days when you're not normally busy, or you can go after hours. Create this experience that's worth $1 million to some of these people that have been through a lot of tough stuff.
Yeah, and I think too, for my staff was involved in this experience, and I'm a fully women owned and women run business. And I've had staff members in the past who kind of were living parallel lives to some of the situations that we're serving, at that event.
Yeah.
So, being able to provide
Very meaningful for them too.
Yeah, we're working with business owners, but also we want to bring in the staff and those that work within that business to see, how they can make a difference in their local community.
So, how do you go about this? Like, you're really talking about you're doing stuff with hands-on things and whatnot. You've got some social platforms, some networks. But what you're talking about is kind of sparking movements, right? And changing cultures. Is it one step at a time, I guess? Just start doing the good things and talking about it?
As Giuli likes to remind people, we do all have full-time jobs.
Right.
So
We're not going to build Rome in a day.
we're not trying to turn this into a second full-time job, but these were actually activities that we were already doing individually. And so, Giuli was already individually going to events and donating time and resources and ideas to nonprofits, and so was Jackie, and so was I. And so the idea here was, hey, if we actually do it together, we could probably have a bigger reach and a bigger impact than each of us doing this individually. And also, we're learning from each other because we all have very different life experience, lived experience, work experience. We all consult with different types of businesses in different ways. Julie's in HR, Jackie's a business owner and a philanthropist. I'm in marketing. So we all have these different skills and strengths. And so if you put us together, you kind of have a little bit of a three-headed dragon, like a unicorn.
For sure.
And it's so far been very organic. And I will give a lot of credit to Giuli. She has been coordinating and meeting with a lot of these nonprofits in her own time. I'm super busy. Jackie's super busy. We're both business owners. And so Julie's taken a big brunt of it.
Beckman Coulter doesn't actually keep track of your
Beckman
hours.
Coulter is great. But I actually feel like all three of us have this wonderful personal situation where I think we've hit a point in our careers where we do have a little bit more flexibility.
Yeah.
We're not new out of college. You know what I mean? Each of us have been doing what we're doing for over 2 decades. And so we have a little more flexibility. And I think our leadership, because I may be a business owner, but I have partners. And, I can't
If you start spending 20 hours a week, like
Yeah.
normal office hours.
Yeah, just like Beckman Coulter, like we have to do our jobs too, but they give us flexibility because we're good at our jobs, we are responsible, and we're really good at multitasking, but it does create a capacity limiter on what we do and how fast we can go. And so that, I would say, is our biggest obstacle right now, is figuring out, how do we make the biggest impact the most efficiently?
Right. Well, and there's 2,500 nonprofits.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Like if you hit 100 of them with some small impact, that's a ton of impact in a year.
Yeah. So we have an email address, hello@themayorettes.com, and
Okay.
Julie's managing that. Do you want to talk about how you're approaching it?
Yeah, I mean, so like Kerrie said, we're using Instagram right now as our social platform. We're working on our website, hopefully sometime soon.
Stop.
Next meeting.
That's pointed at me, guys.
Seems like it might be your ballpark.
I know, a marketer, turns out.
This is me. Yeah.
So we honestly, I'll be very honest. I mean, we have grown very fast. The outreach that we're getting from local nonprofits has been,
The demand for your services
demand is a
exceeds
lot.
your available supply.
And I think it really comes down to the content that we're putting out there and the words, what we're saying and sharing. It goes beyond like, hey, we're at this fancy event and we're eating, having cocktails and eating dinner.
I'm in a little black dress again, eating
yes,
fancy
right?
food with rich people.
I'm here in a theme. No, it really does go beyond that. And I think that they really do feel as if the connection that we have, being able to meet with them and not just, hey, thanks for the ticket, we're going to go to the event. It's spending time, giving them feedback. That's one of the things we did today with Matthew's House is they reached out to us, they invited us to their event. We met with them to get to know a little bit more about, their mission, all the great work. And then we had a call with them today as a follow-up to say, hey, how can we support you? And we spent an hour, we almost went over an hour because we have so many different resources where they're like, well, what do you think about this? And you're in marketing. What do you think about this? And you're a business owner. How do you feel connected? So it really is an interesting dynamic. I mean, we haven't been able to do that with every nonprofit that we've met with. And to be honest, we're not able to go and meet with everybody.
Sure.
So we are working on how do we limit the amount of nonprofits. Because again,
tree. Every good cause.
Yeah.
But the Save a Baby Squirrels Coalition just might not command enough of
I
your
don't know. I
attention.
love my wildlife.
By the way, I got off the phone maybe an hour before you guys came in with Eric Goodman. I'm sure you've seen him working the fundraiser guy.
Yeah.
I've got kind of a standing offer by him to potentially help like train up people in being smarter at that kind of stuff. And especially if you want to get better at paddle raising and auctioneering or
Jackie.
emceeing, things like that, which is something I've dabbled in as well.
Yes.
Actually, when I met him, I was like, "Hey, you do a pretty good job for a unpaid volunteer type guy," and he was like, "Thanks."
That's
jackass."
funny. Jackie did her first MC here
I was there.
in the community. She did such a good job, didn't
Very
she?
good, yes.
Thank you.
Yes. But anyway, so that's and even the strategy around fundraising and stuff. I don't know what it quite looks like, but what I thought I would do is introduce you guys and Nathan from Foothills.
Yeah,
would
he's
like to be
great.
involved as well. And if you
Yes.
guys know other people that are kind of heart forward community volunteer MCs, but that's lame because you should just actually get better at it so you can charge for it if you wanted to, even if you want to donate it back. That's kind of where my heart is at in that whole conversation. So
Yeah.
we can circle back on that.
Yeah. Well, I think, that is important. If we can train up and have more people within our local community that are able to offer that
Right.
service.
You can't be everywhere.
Yeah,
He
I
travels
mean,
the whole country.
a lot of these nonprofits have been hiring out from Boulder and Denver, and that's great, but they don't know the heart of, Larimer
Right,
County
right.
and what we're doing here. So I think CASA appreciated when I emceed because I've been a CASA volunteer. I've known about that organization and been
That
involved for
connection
many
is
years.
so important.
Nathan is involved in so many things, right? So, like, if we were able to go send out a small army of actual community
And we don't
members.
all have to wear little black dresses.
Yeah.
Yes.
Although I would for the right cause.
Right.
I mean, if it was going to raise more funds.
Anything for the money.
Right. Jill, I'm teasing mostly. So anyway, we could continue that conversation on another platform. But I love that heart for both like the heart to want to do everything and to realize that it's and that brings the next question is it a 3-person exclusive club, or is this like the potential competitor with Unified Northern Colorado?
That's hilarious.
Ladies only, bitches. Anyway, I digress.
Well, no, I think, that's a valid point. So we did the NOCO Unify St. Patrick's Day Parade. You were right
Yep,
behind
yep,
us,
yep.
honking your horn. We had a great
Sorry,
time.
it was probably really loud for you guys.
It was fantastic. And actually, just from that, we had a lot of people reach out on our Instagram about how can I join and become a Mayorette? And so when that happened, we were like, oh, I guess we better, is
Figure
that
this
something
out.
that would even be on the horizon? And I think that's something that we're very fluid right now. We're still trying to figure things out. As, we've said, I think maybe one day there's a possibility where it's like a women's service organization, somewhat similar to NOCO Unify. There is
I'm not trying to become Rotary
People.
or anything.
Right. And
Yeah.
I'll always be a Rotarian. And so I think that that's another thing to just acknowledge is that we don't want to compete with anybody.
Yeah.
And so anything that we do will be additive.
Is Rotary like worried about this stealing your heart a little bit away from Rotary? Because you have been an MVP for like years in that space. I'm a fellow Rotarian for
don't plant
listeners
these
in a different
seeds, Kurt.
club.
No, I mean, I think high tides raise all boats. And so the more people that we can influence to be philanthropic and to want to give, people can go and find the thing that resonates with them. Rotary really resonates with me, and I think whatever I do here will be additive and would only make Rotary better and stronger, and if anything, make it easier for them to recruit future Rotarians.
Yeah.
That's like my political response, you know what I mean? I feel like I just did very Miss America.
Nailed it.
But, it is one of those things where it's like nothing that we do we want to compete. Like NOCO
Yeah.
Unify, those guys have been awesome. They've been super
Yeah.
supportive of us. They've been really helpful for us in helping us get in front of people. The St. Patrick's Day
Sure.
Parade was a great opportunity for that. And so it's not about competition. It's about how do you create stronger, more incentivized, just people excited to be
be part of
involved.
their community.
I think we're seeing generationally, we see less and less people focusing on philanthropy as a core part of the buckets that they fill in their lives outside of their work, because work has become such a thing. The world is scary. Life is hard. Inflation's huge. There's all these things.
I have to live with my parents, and I just play video games in their basement until I'm 35.
Or I'm working 3 jobs and I've got kids and I am trying to stay in the community and I can't afford to live here. And so it's like, how do you open up doors so that people find all of these different avenues so that they can stay connected and involved? And one day maybe philanthropy in a fiscal way becomes an opportunity. Yeah. But in the meantime, there's other things you can do.
Yeah.
I was recruited to the Matthews House Board back in 2012. 2010. They asked me to be on like the capital campaign, kind of like help fundraise, and I was like, well, that sounds like a sucker's job. Yeah. But eventually I joined the board, and then I was the board president. And I've never been able to really have the kind of personal income where I could be a meaningful donor. I still donate, I think, $100 or $150 a month or whatever. So I'm in their good guy club, right? Yeah. But it's not huge. But some of the people that I introduced to the Matthews House over the years have been involved for 10, 15 years and have been board members and given time and treasure. And so I've opened doors for them that I see still lasting in the event room today. And that makes me really proud.
Yeah, give or get. I was on the board for Project Self-Sufficiency for 6 years. I was president in 2020. Fun time. But at the same thing, I was in my 20s. And so, I wasn't giving $100,000 checks to the nonprofit, but I had this idea that, you can either give or you can get. And get is not about giving money. It's about expanding the presence and the awareness and telling people about the mission. And like go out and get somebody to learn about it and bring them in. You don't necessarily have to give.
Yeah. Well, I can say, though, is the business owners that are coming in are like millennials, right? So, and they're not really sure who to give back to. So they're looking like, hey, I'm going to Google a nonprofit. And the top 3 are usually, the larger nonprofits. I won't name them. But they're really looking for guidance on who can I give back to?
Yeah.
And they all have a similar background on what they're tied to. So, I met with a business owner that said, hey, I love children, but I don't have children. And I want to be connected to someone that is supporting domestic violence because my mother went through that. I saw it. And that's something that's dear to their heart. Yep. So we 100%. Have used our connections to say, hey, I don't want to say vetted nonprofits, but we have met with them to understand, their efforts.
Is your mission and how you're executing it kind of strong enough for us to really want to get behind?
Exactly. So we connect them both and start an email chain, and then they take it. How can I help? Do you need me to sponsor a table? Do you need donations? Do you need volunteer work? So I think that is the really
kind of an investigative
really interesting.
And as you do more and more things, you'll get smarter and smarter at helping them.
Yeah.
Too, I think. And I should share that my heart for the Matthews House remains really strong.
Yeah.
I've continued to be an avid supporter, and their DNA is in local think tank even. And so, but because it's easy for there to be too many nonprofits doing too much overlap on too many things, right? And scale is significant. So you want to help these small startup nonprofits, but it's really hard for them to actually be effective. Like how effective do you think a one-person marketing agency can be in today's world, Kerrie?
Well, that's a loaded question. I actually think probably pretty effective depending on the person.
Okay.
But when it comes to the landscape of nonprofits in our community, I think that there is a fine line between finding gaps and overlap, right? And I never want to tell somebody not to go after their passion if they're compelled to start a nonprofit or they're compelled to take that journey. But I want them to understand how challenging it actually is when there are just so many different organizations filling so many gaps. And sometimes the answer isn't start a new nonprofit. Sometimes the answer is finding the nonprofit that is the most adjacent to what it is that you want to do and join them, become a project under them, join the board, start a committee,
share a campaign, committee.
So, and I'll say in my experience with Project Self-Sufficiency, one of my big gripes. So when I was younger, I could not afford to buy a house in Fort Collins, period. what do they say? Drive till you qualify. So I lived in Severance for a lot of years, and I got thinking.
Is that how you got so country?
Listen, I've always been kind of country.
Country. What?
She's kind of country.
She's from Brighton.
Whatever, but she's country.
Is that country there?
She drives like a 77 Ford Bronco.
72.
72.
And it's a Blazer, but it's okay. I'm not going to hold that against you. I sent Julie a picture the other day, and I was like, this is the difference between a 1972 Blazer and a 1972 Bronco. Internalize this. But anyway, I digress.
Lessons learned.
No,
You're
so
just jealous you don't have a Bronco, I guess.
but okay, so here I am. I'm living in Severance. Severance is in Weld County. I'm on the board for Project Self-Sufficiency, which was largely operating Larimer County. Like, that was a boundary. It was Larimer County only. And I'm thinking, and I have no kids, I'm not a single parent, and I can't afford to live in this community. So what happens when somebody who lives in Larimer County and wants to get post-secondary education, wants to change their situation, and they have kids, and they're in this particular situation, and they're going, I want to be self-sufficient, and now I need to move because there is actually a fiscally responsible move for me if I move to Weld County, like a Severance or what have you.
Sure.
Call it a bedroom community, whatever you want to call it. And then I'm out of the boundary of where this nonprofit serves. And so this was a conversation as a board member I brought in to our executive director, Tracy Mead. And Tracy listened, and the board listened, and they now serve Weld County.
Oh,
and
really?
we've changed
I
the
didn't
tagline.
realize.
Yes, so it's Larimer and Weld County. I didn't have to go start another nonprofit. You know what I mean?
Right,
Like,
right.
think about that. The
Sure.
resources and the sophistication and the
the learning
programming.
curve. Like, how long would it take to build the kind of institutional knowledge at the Project Self-Sufficiency
Exactly.
Yeah.
in a separate organization? You barely could do it.
So if you have some sort of passion that you're like, I want to do this, and I think this could be something big and meaningful for our community, instead of saying, I'm going to go start my own 501c3, look at what already exists, see what the landscape is, and see how you can plug into the resources that are already here to make them more beneficial. And then we don't have to split the grant funding, and then we don't have to split the ask from different donors.
Yeah.
And
And split the overhead. All
and
these,
split the overhead, all of these different things. And so I think part of what Julie was saying before is like, we are trying to help people gain an understanding of the landscape of the nonprofits.
I'm going to put this one because, Julie, pardon me a little bit, but you seem not just an HR expert, but kind of a businessy expert of sorts as well. Do you imagine, like, when you meet with some of these smaller or younger nonprofits and stuff, being like, you know, you're sweet, but you really don't have a viable thing here. You should just merge yourself into this other organization that's actually doing a good job in this space.
Yeah, I mean, we've had some conversations with individuals where they're like, oh, I'm really passionate about this. And I said, well, that already exists. So why don't you contact them or the 4 others that do the exact same thing? You know, I'm pretty
haven't
real with
killed
them.
anybody yet.
Yeah, no, I haven't. I'm pretty real. Like, hey, this already exists. Or why don't you plug in and try to branch out with something you're passionate about that can support them? But I mean, through the journey too, I think we've also met some nonprofits that we've questioned.
Or can you deliver the goods,
Yeah,
really?
like, are you really a nonprofit? Or, you know, how the math is not mathing. I mean, we're 3 professional women. Like, we could read a room really quickly.
If you raise $150,000 in donations and your director salary is $84,000 and you don't really do anything.
Yeah, like, how do you give, like, we've asked, like, Jackie and I have been in a call, we've asked, how are you giving back?
Yeah,
like,
how do you
what is the
actually make an
nonprofit
impact?
of this? Like, are you giving scholarships? Are we doing this? And they weren't able to answer that. And I think that was eye-opening.
You're not really, we're not going to.
Yeah, and
not gonna do
it's not
stuff.
that we're saying, like, what you're doing is not great, because
Yeah.
I think the work is great, but for us
We
to
just
feel
can't
that
put our
connection.
shoulders behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's a little bit like, I mean, Kerrie, you know more than these two about Loco Think Tank and kind of what Loco Think Tank does and stuff. And it's like you're inviting everybody to be a part of it, but not you. You know, you got to kind of curate your flock a little bit, and that includes the causes you support and how effectively and efficiently. You know, the Matthews House was really a community leader in tracking outcomes. You know, and like, here's the money that you spent, and here's the good things that happened. And PSS, I think, I would say, learned a lot from the Matthews House in how to really more
Absolutely.
effectively
And I'll just
gather
let you
and
know that we
communicate
charge people $1 every time they say PSS instead of Project Self-Sufficiency. I'm just kidding. That was for my
Not
board
me.
days.
PSS.
No, but you're right. And I think Project Self-Sufficiency and a lot of the nonprofits here that have been here for a long time, a lot of nonprofits this year celebrated anniversaries. Child Safe celebrated an anniversary. I think the Boys and Girls Club celebrated an anniversary. So a lot of these nonprofits have been around for over 20 years. And I think that is a testament to the fact that the community is in support of these things. And these nonprofits have a place, but they're all learning from each other. And I think that's awesome. Like, that's so great. And the fact that you have a pioneer coming out of Matthew's House and saying, hey, we got to demonstrate real data-backed metrics so that our donors know that what we're doing is real and creating cascading impact generationally.
The fields
That's
aren't
great.
going to just do it selling this anymore.
You know, and the fields are important, but
Sure.
so are the numbers.
That's
so
how you
is
open
the
the
output.
wallets. But the person like me that looks at, like, if you can, I'm an economist by training, right? And so if you can spend $20,000 or $10,000 bending the life of a 19-year-old that the foster system dumps out in the street without much guidance and change that line, or you can spend $400,000 trying to get a homeless person off the streets, but they just flunked out of rehab for the third time. Well, leave them fuckers there. Excuse me.
Yeah, you start looking at
Right.
you start
Let's
looking
get
at
some new taxpayers of the
multi-generational
future,
impact.
not like minimal tax receivers. You know, like that's what we need is more people that are actually productive in the world.
Yeah.
And I think to that point, as Julie said, we're not here to, judge. We're not giving the 5-star charity navigator ratings.
You're
That's
not,
not
a
our
business
job.
bureau for charity.
This is not our
Right.
job. But in order for us to promote a nonprofit, we have to first meet them, understand the mission, understand the numbers, understand where the money is going, and then we will decide if we're going to support them or not.
And kind of fall in love with how they do.
It's
deliver
not a
goods.
free for all. It's not a free listing site. It is very curated. Julie's taken the brunt of a lot of that curation, I will say, other than the nonprofits we're already involved in. But there has been a big influx of people that we've never heard from and nonprofits we never heard of.
What fun.
And so
you get to satisfy your curiosity learning about all these new and other causes too.
Especially the wildlife.
see, Julie, do you want to name the wildlife? So Julie fell in love with a particular wildlife nonprofit.
Greenwood Wildlife Rehabilitation.
Okay.
It's in Longmont.
All
So
right.
it was like the second place I visited and toured.
Like contacted you. and they're like,
Unexpected.
Just
She
unexpected.
unexpected that she
Yeah.
would feel so passionately
Yeah.
about it.
Yeah, I think just the work that they do and the heart, and you walk into
Like if somebody hits a deer, they like bring
no,
it in
it's
and like
it's like squirrels and raccoons and pigeons and geese and ducks, and what they do is they call Greenwood, and Greenwood would use their volunteers to pick up this animal, and then they would go through these different stages. And the part that I love is you walk in there, and every item that they use, you could just tell it's volunteer made. Like these
Yeah.
little squirrel boxes, and they're like,
Scrap.
"Yeah, this volunteer comes in and he built these little boxes," and I'm like, "What?"
and they're nursing these squirrels back to life.
Yeah, and then
stuff,
they're
and
taking
these
them out, and
geese that somebody ran over.
yeah,
their foot
it's
or
just
something.
the love that they had through the tour. They were just giving so much love to the animals. I'm like, we need to support the squirrels and the animals.
I'm really torn on whether to share this story.
Did you run
or
over an
not.
animal?
No.
Oh.
I never have run over an animal, but I've had chickens for more than
I
10
have
years.
ducks.
And I've defended my chickens mano a mano against raccoons and come out victorious in 5 different occasions. With 2x3s or baseball bats
Oh my
or
gosh.
similar.
Here, on the flip side, okay, I am a big duck lover. And domestic
That
ducks.
seems like a clip right there.
No, but ducks get dumped. So domestic ducks get dumped a lot.
So you're a foster duck
well,
parent.
She's going to be.
I would be open to that. So, there's all of these different elements of all of these different nonprofits. And so we don't all have to be passionate about the same one, but we all have to align around certain things. And the things that we align around, are they fiscally responsible? Are they
Totally.
doing things in the community that we truly feel is going to create impact, sustainable impact? you know.
Dig it.
So we
kind of some of the Rotary principles.
it is very similar to
are
Rotary
invested.
principles. And I think me and Julie both having been Rotarians helps with that. And then Jackie has
Jackie, when are you going to join the Rotary
Well,
Club? The Breakfast Club is
I did help with the
did.
golf tournament.
Thursday
She did.
mornings at Ginger and Baker is the Breakfast
Yes,
Club if you're a morning
I've been to that
person.
before. I have. Yes.
Well-
it's a little early.
Okay. Well, if it's a little, you shouldn't join if you don't like that kind of
I
stuff.
like the
you shouldn't.
afternoon brewery.
yeah.
So anyway,
Yeah.
well, we'll work on that question
Yes.
later.
Yes.
This episode is sponsored by NOCO Think Tank. NOCO Think Tank provides peer collaboration for business owners. We build smart, safe places to help business leaders navigate every stage of the business journey, and we love what we do and who we do it with. Our model features give-back-minded business veterans in the role of NOCO facilitators, and we're always looking for abundance-minded individuals to add to our membership, facilitator team, NOCO community, or to feature on this podcast. Listeners of this podcast who go on to become members of NOCO Think Tank get their 6th month of membership for free. Just mention the NOCO Experience podcast on your application. To learn more, visit our website at locothinktank.com. That's LOCO thinktank.com.
We're back. Clap on, clap off. I want to
Cut.
start.
Or what's the thing?
I want to start the second segment of the show with a very personal question. What's the hardest you've ever slapped somebody?
Slapped.
Have you ever slapped somebody? Because I've never slapped anybody.
Carrie's.
Are you
broken
kidding
her
me? I'm
arm.
from Brighton. I have definitely slapped some people.
What's the hardest?
Well, I wasn't really a slapper.
You just punched.
Yeah, I broke my hand when I was like 18,
Okay.
punching not somebody. I missed and I hit a wall.
You missed.
I did miss, yes. When you duck, somebody
Okay.
ducked. This was the thing.
And you broke your hand.
And I broke my hand.
Okay.
They call it a boxer's fracture. I think it actually means that I'm not good at punching.
Yeah. Did you
You've got those little hands.
Did you tuck your thumb?
No, so a boxer's fracture happens when you don't hit square. So you like kind of come down. And so what happens is like this bone overcrosses this bone. It's a whole thing.
I broke the scaphoid bone in my hand when I tried to pedal my bike as
Hold
fast
on.
as I could.
Have you slapped somebody?
No, never.
You are
But I've
lying.
been thinking about.
You're lying.
No, I've never slapped anybody.
You need to start slapping people.
I don't know if I've actually punched somebody successfully either.
Successfully.
I've
I mean,
been
like, I
punched.
wouldn't call it a
I've been
success
punched.
that I missed it at the wall.
Anyway, I don't want to hear that answer to that question anyway. I just thought it'd be fun.
Chris, I've never hit anybody.
No.
No.
I was a theater kid. I've done a few stage slaps, and that's about it.
Okay, so not real.
No.
I was HR by the time I was 5. So
No slapping.
I actually there was a party where there was a kid that was kind of accused of being rough with his girlfriend when I was off to college, and I actually caught him being rough with his girlfriend outside of the party when I went out to go smoke some weed, and he didn't like it because I was like a skinny smart kid that went to college and stuff, and also that she had smoked weed with me before too, because I was like this bad influence because I came back to North Dakota or came back from college like Kurt smokes weed now. And
Now.
yeah, exactly.
Now.
I never did in high school, never heard of it. It was forbidden.
Oh, interesting.
It wasn't around. But anyway, I busted it, and then he like gave me a warning shot, and I was like, well, I'd rather have you hit me than hit your girlfriend, you fucking pussy.
But you didn't hit him back.
No, and then he like leveled me like freaking big ass steamroller right to the nose and bloodied both nostrils, and like I got up and pretended I wanted to fight more. but thankfully my buddy was out the door soon after that, like, dude, pass on this.
I had 2 older brothers.
So a domestic violence assault that I
Oh my
interrupted was the last time I've been punched, and
That's
really the only
very
really
noble.
physical confrontation I've been in.
Very noble. I've been in a lot of fistfights, but I also didn't have brothers. I'm an only child. And I don't know, where I grew up, fighting was very normal. It was like you fight so people don't steal your shoes and stuff. And so I used to get in fights, and I didn't think it was a big deal. And now
What
I
age
talk to people.
range?
So it started in middle school for sure. Middle school was rough. Middle
yeah.
school, and like if you have middle schoolers, bless your heart, rough.
Do you think it's still rough?
I think
Depends
it's
on the
worse.
school.
I think it's worse.
They don't fight with their hands anymore. they fight with technology.
Right.
And I didn't have that problem. So you would fight, you would get scrappy with somebody, and then the next day you were fine.
Yeah.
Because you fist fought.
Well,
And
that's
so,
like boy fighting.
Yeah, I was
Right.
definitely
Like girl
in a
fighting is
boy-
like, she said something bad about me, I'm never going to be friends with her again.
See, where I grew up, it was very much a boy fighting scenario for both.
Yeah. It was
For everybody.
gender neutral.
Yeah,
You
gender
just get over
neutral
it.
fist fighting in the alleyways. And then, you'd fight and then you'd get over it and then everybody would be friends. And I have friends today that I like literally got into fist fights with
I love that.
growing up.
Let's jump in the time machine and get to know you guys a little better. We're going to go to first grade.
First grade, ooh.
Julie, I'm going to start with you.
So
Because
first,
clearly you guys have lived wildly different childhoods, with Kerrie being the, the country Brighton girl,
yeah.
blazer driver.
Well, so I'm from Peru. So I was born in Peru. I moved
wow.
to the U.S. when I was 3. So we came as immigrants, trying to figure out,
With
living the
skills,
American. Well, yeah, my dad was a mechanical engineer. My mom was a nurse. So,
Okay. So they were kind of elite Peruvians, if
yeah,
you will.
yeah, but you know how it is when you come to America, you start from the bottom, right?
Right. Cleaning houses or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, my mom worked at Howard Johnson, putting together, like picking up people's trash, So I've really seen the dynamic of, how I was brought up. So I'm still very much bilingual. My son is way better than I am now because he goes
Cool.
to an international academy right now he's in 3rd grade.
Yeah.
But yeah, 1st grade, I was in ESL, English as a second language. I did not know English at all, which is
Sure.
weird, right? Because
Yeah,
I
yeah.
sound really good.
Yeah, you do. Damn good.
Yeah, right.
It might be Cleveland, Ohio or some shit.
Yeah. So I've seen the struggle. One of the, when I tie this back to, the Mayorettes is, my parents were working crazy hours. So they put me in Boys and Girls Club. And, from that day, they put me in swimming and all these sports. And I
Right.
started swimming
cool.
and I got swim lessons. And then I got really good at swimming. And then I went, kind of grew.
Yeah.
I went to JOs, which is Junior Olympics. So I always give back to Boys and Girls Club because
Wow.
if it wasn't,
Changed your whole life.
Yeah, it
You
changed
never
my whole
would've gotten a
life.
pool,
Yeah,
hardly.
literally, right? So
Wow.
I mean, my
And
parents
were you
couldn't
a
take me.
Only kid?
No, I have 2 older brothers. They're
Okay.
10, 11 year old older than me. So
Okay.
they were the ones that beat up the boys for me. So I'm like, oh
Right.
no.
Nobody touched me. My brothers
Oh,
kicked their
bless.
ass.
Yeah, they're awesome. We're still very close. So yeah, I really saw the struggle from being immigrants to creating this great life. I appreciate my parents for giving me everything they had. My brothers and I always talk about that. We wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them.
Totally.
So I'd love to get tied to more of like the immigration and, there's, what's that coffee shop that...
Arboretum.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so
I just saw her the other day.
we haven't really connected so much. They haven't reached out. I know that's a very, unique type of nonprofits that do that type of support. But Boys and Girls Club, I've thought about joining their board for a long time just because I'm so connected to them. I'm like, oh my gosh, if it wasn't for you, I would never gotten into swimming. And
Yeah.
my son's into swimming now. And so,
Well, they would love to have your story. in
yeah,
their board
yeah.
too, honestly.
And they also had
I
such
bet they would take you.
I know, right? I hope I'm gonna hello, Boys and Girls Club, if you're listening. so yeah, that's a little bit of my background, and so
And where was this, by the
This
way?
is in New Jersey. Yeah.
Okay.
So from Peru, we moved to New Jersey.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah, and I lived there up until I
In
was
like the
20.
city?
I call it the city. I mean, we live like 25 minutes away from New York City.
Okay.
So yeah.
But you were in an urban environment.
Yeah,
definitely.
very, very much. So
And were you urban environment? I guess doesn't really matter. You were 3 in Peru.
Yeah, yeah. So, I mean, I was born in Arequipa, and then my parents, we had a home in Lima, which is the capital. So,
Yeah.
very much still tied to Peru. I mean, I still have family there. I'd love to bring my son there now that he's bilingual. I'm like, you can help mom now. But yeah, so that's a little bit about my background, and and also kind of tied to the family piece. I got divorced and I was a new mom, so I didn't really know how to handle that. And I had some nonprofits that supported me through that too, giving me resources.
Let's come back to you at that
Yeah,
20-year-old
definitely.
person.
Yeah.
And I'm going to shift the microphone over to Jackie.
First grade.
First grader.
Born and raised in Dallas,
Okay.
Texan here.
I see. Could have been a debutante if you'd have stayed.
Yes.
Or perhaps you were a debutante.
No, I was not. I was very much I was I played violin. First grade, I have been a lifelong entrepreneur. I found my first business card actually last year. Marie the Magnificent. I was in fact a child magician. I really was.
Awesome.
Better than
And
a
people
debutante.
actually hired you?
Yes. My parents hired me out for the neighborhood July 4th festival and things
love
like
it.
that. So I was probably doing some magic tricks in first grade. I also went to an elementary school where every fourth grader, I'm jumping ahead, but we got to pick out a chicken, and we brought it from egg to hatching the chicken, and
Nice.
then we sold eggs in the carpool line. And that was also an introduction to entrepreneurship.
And tell me about your family. Were they entrepreneurs as well?
My dad is a doctor and scientist.
Not a
and-
wildcatter or whatever.
No. But he's from New Orleans, so kind of he was flying planes off of his street when he was like 7 years old.
Because that's pretty wild backcountry
Yeah, and had
there,
a pet
too.
alligator. Normal Cajun stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so I was just an artsy kid. I played violin. I sang. And that kind of would shape my future moving forward, which I'm sure we'll talk about in a little.
So let's get me all the way to that late teens circumstance. You're thinking about college and what's next.
Yeah, I discovered my love for singing. I got to play Miss Hannigan in my 8th grade musical. My parents found out I could sing. It was a surprise to them when they showed up at the performance that night.
Interesting.
And
You weren't singing in the shower? In the
No.
backyard and
I
stuff?
was kind of quiet. They just thought I was good at violin, nothing else. And I went to UNT North Texas for vocal jazz, which is where Nora Jones went. So that's kind of like...
Oh, so you were actually for
I was-
real
I was-
pursuing a passion for a
Yeah,
while.
I was pretty good. But then I found out
You were
that...
just a junior Olympian, not even.
Yeah,
Just-
just beating Michael Phelps over there.
He wasn't born yet.
And I'm fist fighting people in the alley.
Right.
It's fine.
Kerrie's just beating girls down in the alley.
I'm dying.
Yeah. So I started as a vocalist, and then I found out my passion was actually in business. So then I transitioned into, I got an MBA in music business in Nashville. So that kind of shaped the next decade of my life.
I'm excited to get back to that chapter because you don't meet that many musicians that are interested in business very much.
Correct.
I actually had the co-founder of Mead Krieger on the other day, and he was like in a metal band called I forget, Skinda or something like that, and he literally worked 70 hours a week for 8 months a year at random ass odd jobs that would let him take time off to go on a 3-month tour and come home with less money than he left with.
Wow.
Yeah.
And that was kind of a pretty successful career in the metal industry.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress.
Yep.
All right, Kerrie.
Okay.
Brighton, we know that. Or was it Brighton in first
Yep.
grade too?
So I was born and raised in Brighton, Colorado.
Okay.
So I'm the only native here
And
out of the three of us.
family scene situation?
Yeah, my parents still live in the house that I grew up in.
Cool.
My grandparents live 4 miles away next to Brighton High School.
Dig it?
So
So you got deep roots down there.
deep roots in
Have you ever
the
thought about moving
community.
back down to Brighton and starting a Mayorettes chapter down there?
No. So my parents are actually from New Mexico.
Oh, okay.
So my mom and dad met in New Mexico, and this is kind of a part of my origin story. I'm getting ahead of myself a little bit, but my mom grew up in the foster care system.
Oh, really?
My mom
Okay.
aged out of the foster care system.
Oh, wow.
In
So
New
she
Mexico.
and with probably lots of different foster families.
She was with several families. She was in foster care, I think, for about 9 years.
Because she was mean to people, beating up all the other girls and stuff. Just kidding.
Listen.
We're not going to talk about your mom's experience.
No, the foster
too
care
much,
system
so.
in the 70s was an
Right.
entirely different experience. And I'm not saying that it's perfect now, but it had a lot to...
It was pretty hairy at times.
So, yeah. But I'm from Brighton, Colorado. I'm an only child.
Okay.
I am a brat, if that is what you're wondering.
I assumed so.
Super spoiled.
I've known you for years.
Now, my parents, both very hardworking people, my entire family, very hardworking. And so I spent actually a lot of time with my neighbors. And so I also grew up bilingual.
Bit of a latchkey kid.
I was a latchkey kid.
And were your parents, are you Hispanic? at all?
Nope, not
No,
Hispanic.
okay.
I'm a German. I am 16th Native American,
Okay.
but I'm mostly German and Swedish.
I just knew that New Mexico's got tons of
Yep.
mixies and whatever.
She's a
right?
Latina by heart, though.
I actually, yes, like vibes. My vibes are Latina because, so Brighton, when I was growing up, was a very there was a very large Hispanic population in the area. And so when my parents were at work, I was typically with the neighbors. And my neighbors were from Mexico. Most of them were from Mexico, like that had kids my age. And the kids my age spoke English. The parents did not.
Right.
And so
picked some
I
stuff
was
up.
in their houses and I was
If you
learning
wanted to
Spanish.
ask for a juice box, you better say it in Spanish.
So I would say by the time I was in middle school, I spoke pretty good Spanish.
Wow.
I was
You must have a natural
relatively
affinity to it,
fluent.
too.
But when you're that age, it's easier to learn. It's easier to pick up. I'm not fluent now, but I can pick it up. Like when we're in Mexico or we're in Costa Rica, like I can
get
pick it
around.
up pretty quickly. So definitely that's a big part of who I am. And Brighton High School at the time was also, we had a lot of ESL students. I think I was actually in an ESL class. And English is not my second language.
But yeah, like we don't have enough.
Put this Latina girl in there.
Yeah.
She at least can understand.
But I was in two quinceañeras. So like literally very culturally invested in that. But my parents were at work and my mom, she didn't go to college. I was first generation. So my dad did go to college. He did not graduate from college. My mom did not go to college. Coming out of the foster care system, that is a big reach. Like she graduated from high school and that was
Where I grew
big
up,
lift.
like nobody went to college, like period.
Right.
Like,
Right. And so it was like a big deal when I went to college and I went to CSU and that's when I moved to Fort Collins and I never left.
And can I ask, were you surprised that you were just as smart as the other kids almost when you got to CSU? Because it took me like a year or two to appreciate it because I was like pretty sure everybody's going to be smarter than me when I got there.
So it's interesting that you asked that because Brighton High School had there were different types of programs that I felt were really, now when I look back, I'm like, oh my gosh, we had such a strong program in this and such a weak environment in this. And so I was really bad at math. I did not enjoy math in high school. We didn't test well as a school, but we had DECA.
Oh yeah,
Was
business
a
stuff.
very, very, very big program
I
at
interviewed
Brighton
a
High
kid
School.
that won the DECA competition
So
on the podcast one time.
I went to nationals twice for
wow.
the DECA competition.
That changed your life.
It did change my life. It is the reason
That's
I went
why you're
into
so passionate
marketing.
about business and period. Yeah.
Yeah, so DECA, it was actually a part of our curriculum. So a lot of schools will make it an extracurricular, but in our school, it was a part of the curriculum. So it was not an extracurricular. It was a class you could choose instead of one of the others.
Sure.
And you could either be in the DECA class that did the competitions, or you could be involved in like the school store. There were lots of options, and I was really involved in the written competitions, which are basically marketing plans.
Yeah.
And so you couldn't do the competition your freshman or sophomore year, but you could your junior year. And that was the first year that I did it. And I placed at state and went to nationals.
Wow.
And nationals was kind of a big deal for somebody like me where I had never traveled on an airplane before.
Right, yeah.
And I got to go on an all expense trip to, I think the first year it was in Dallas, the second year it was in Anaheim. And so we got to go to these places and meet all these kids from all these different schools, different cultures. I had never been exposed to that. We did not travel when I was growing up. We didn't have the money for it. So it was very eye-opening. And the things that I do today in my career, I would say I learned a lot of those skills in high school. Literally. Like the program is so good. So DECA all the way. Big fan.
I think that's a great overview because like you guys are very well aligned in terms of your vision on how people should behave a little bit. I would say you don't have to believe in all the same things and you can kill raccoons because they want my ducks or you could not do that or whatever. But your stories are like you've got this story of your family was very much in the upper class of sorts, I suppose, in Peru, but then started a whole new life and transitioned to like starting over.
Yeah.
You were raised in some level of prosperity, right? You got doctors and stuff, and you've got opportunities to go to music school and be a theater girl. And Kerrie kind of kind of the blue collar, right? And just different journeys that all inform and end in the same place of love for community.
Yeah.
I dig it.
Yeah.
One of the things I was thinking about is, I should have offered this before we came back from the break, but some guests want to smoke a joint before.
Oh my
we come
God!
back
If
from the
I
break.
smoke that, I'll die.
Okay, I assume not. Okay, all right.
I would
Kinda
literally
off
die.
our brand, but
No, I would actually
It
die.
seems
I
like
think.
it's not really on brand, and we can do it
No.
outside.
Hold
of
on.
here,
So
but
I
it's-
do grow weed plants in my garden.
You do?
Yes.
Oh, nice.
She
I
doesn't
don't smoke
smoke.
it. So
Okay.
if you need some weed,
I'll
though,
take some. Sure,
I'll give you some.
I grew one plant. I've been growing plants, and I got like almost 2/3 of a pound off of my
Oh,
last
we
plant
got
last year.
so much weed last
could
year,
be a
and I don't
sponsor.
smoke. So I was
I
like,
gave away like half.
I
of
was
it.
like, this seems like a lot. And then somebody would come over. So
You
like,
dry it and stuff, right? Like you're safe.
oh, we did all the things.
Okay.
So, but
All right.
I would have people come over. So I like adopted a duck, and these people brought the duck over to me, and I was
And you're like, here, have an
we're
ounce of weed.
kind of
Literally.
but I don't know how much is an ounce. So I was just like, here, let me put it in a bag. And they were like, that's a lot of weed. And I was like, is this a lot? Like, I don't actually have any concept of like how much is a lot of weed, but yeah.
There's a place for that in the
It's
Mayorettes
legal now, right?
future. Yeah, no, you're allowed to
legal.
do that for
legal.
sure. For sure.
I
just
wasn't
think-
like putting it in small bags and selling it in bulk.
Right, as
I
long as
was
you don't sell it,
just
you're
giving
good.
it away.
Yeah, if you give it away, you're good. Yeah.
No, I'm a gardener though. So like,
Right, that's me
it was
too.
more of the
It's a green
challenge.
thumb.
My neighbor gives me a clone every year. And he's like, and so I put it in the corner of my garden. And last year it went super crazy.
there you go.
Yeah, it's like a Christmas tree. It smells like a skunk.
But I thought you might have picked that up from your Hispanic neighborhood. There, no? That's why it was familiar.
No, did not pick that up. I grew up behind Kmart. There was not any gardens. Like it was there were no. I mean, maybe people were growing weed plants, but they're probably growing them in their basement.
Right.
Not in
Especially
their
at that
garden.
time. Yeah.
Well, it was probably not legal. Where it
For sure.
definitely was not legal at that time.
For sure. Yeah.
So, I digress. Anyway,
So we
I'll bring you
flashed.
some weed.
We flashed the kind of 20-year plan on each. Julie, I'm going to come back to you because you've been off the air for a moment. So tell me about like your next steps. You're in Jersey still. You graduated high school,
Yeah. So I graduated high school.
and were you still an athlete?
Yes, I was.
Okay.
And then I decided not to do that as much anymore
Okay.
through college because it's a lot,
Yeah,
It's
for sure.
it's mornings and evenings, and
And you were an HR professional since you were 5.
literally, yeah. So I was like, this is not good for your mental health. So my brother moved to Colorado. He fell in love with a Mormon girl, and we decided that,
interesting.
yeah.
And was your family from a Catholic, if anything, environment, or nothing at all?
No. I mean, he's gonna listen to this and laugh because they're divorced now.
Yeah.
Bless.
She was
But-
some blonde
yeah,
seductress from
yeah,
Utah.
but it's like
that-
I gotta move out to the country or whatever. So they moved
how
out
did how did
here.
you find her? Like she came out there on mission and was like, "I'm going to snap this Peruvian dude up and bring him back to the homeland."
they find the good ones. So anyway, so they
Good talent scouts for
Yeah.
sure. All right,
so they
we'll leave that
moved.
alone.
So he moved to Colorado, and my parents were like, "We should move too. It's so much
Right.
cheaper in Colorado than in New Jersey." And then they were like, "Let's move." And I was like, "This is wild. I can't afford anything in New Jersey by myself. I'm 20 years old." So I moved out with
I'm
them.
in.
Yeah. So I moved out, and then
Were you annoyed about that, or
honestly, there's not a lot of times in your life where you get to hit the reset button.
yeah,
You know, and
the blank
it's
canvas moment?
just like, hey,
Yeah,
I'm
yeah.
20.
I love meeting with people in those kind of
yeah, I was like,
spaces.
let's reset. I didn't
Yeah.
argue. I mean, yeah, I'm obviously still a Jersey girl by heart, but it was a huge.
You do have a lot of Jersey girl about you.
Thank you.
Really? Not meant as a compliment.
I will take it as a compliment. But yeah, so we moved out here, and I started working for Riverside Technology, which is a little engineering firm in Fort Collins, and I met the VP of HR, Gary Merriman, who has been my mentor my whole life. And I remember the moment where he was like, you're gonna move into a bigger HR career. He was like, I know you're my HR assistant and you're just printing papers and writing people up,
Right, but you're.
he really
I
took me
recognize
under his
talent,
wind. Yeah,
and you got talent.
Yeah, he put me under his wing, and he's retired now. But I just kind of grew from there, and Riverside Technology kind of started it for me, and I knew that I wanted to come back to the engineering world, so that's kind of where we went. But
Yeah.
I became a mom, kind of got married to the wrong guy, but had a really cute baby. And so
This is when? Out here?
yeah, this is all out here. I never moved. Like once
you
I
were
moved
just
here when
kinda
I was
a career
20,
woman
that was
once
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, so I had my brothers drive my Honda across the country so I could drive. I was like, I'm not coming back. I'm staying here.
Right.
So it was good and kind of grew from there. And I loved HR. I don't know why. People are like, why do you like it? It's so depressing. And I'm like, I don't know. I'm doing the things, so I can say that because that's like all HR.
I'm going to tell you a quick story from my own life. And Allie, I hope you hear this if you're still listening to the podcast. But so in 2009, my boss got let go and I became the acting president of the bank. And that was like halfway through the downsizing of staffing. And my first official act as a manager of people was to take one of the tellers, Allie, and fire her. Because she was smart, she was cute, she was sassy, but she hated that she was a banker. She wanted to be an artist. And she thought it was the dumbest thing ever that she had to be a stupid fucking banker. And it just polluted the whole place. And she went and got a job at the Walmart photo studio. And then she later started doing photography more. She later opened a gallery. And 5 years into her entrepreneurial career, she tagged me and said, thanks to the best boss and shortest lived boss I ever had that set me free. Like she was so mad. And then just a year later, she was happier, and 5 years later, she appreciated it 100%.
Yeah,
great.
And that's part of my own HR journey is you got to release people when they're not in the right spot too.
Yeah.
You got to find the right people for the right spot, which is hard.
Yeah, it is hard. It is very hard, but I've seemed to.
But most of you like the firing.
I mean, it's like not the greatest, but I'm
like
good
setting
at
them
it.
free.
Yeah.
You're very direct and kind of straightforward personality.
Yeah, and it's definitely not the best part of the job, but it's definitely
You're not
it's
in
just
it
part
for
of the job,
firing.
right? So, but I think a lot of people do connect with
What
me.
makes
in
you
that
so
way.
good about it? Like, what makes you really want to? Why did your mentor say you're gonna go far in this industry?
Yeah, I think it really comes down to I take the time to listen to people. So I really absorb everything people say to me. So even though I'm like, I already know the answer to this, I take the time to listen and then be like, hey, are you open for some recommendations?
Right.
Do you want to open to this? So I do think that
If they know you listen, then they're willing to listen back.
Yeah. So I think that's where it
That's
comes
probably a special
down
talent
to.
that applies to the Mayorettes kind of job too, right?
I'm the Mayorettes HR department.
All right, Jackie, you're
Okay.
pursuing a music career.
Yeah.
And then you decide to become an MBA. So let's hear about that more.
Well, and there was even a stint in between that. So I went to music school, quickly realized I may have been the best in my high school class, but I was
In Nashville,
humbled
it's different.
in music school. I was no longer the best. So that freaked me out. So I only lasted a year. Then I transferred to get a political science degree. I love political science. I don't care at all about the Super Bowl. State of the Union, though, everyone shut up. Give me some popcorn, some wine. I'm going to watch the whole State of the Union, okay? That's like
Dig it.
my vibe.
Dig it.
So I have a degree in political science. Then I went and got an MBA in Nashville for music business. Talk about community and connections. The first time I really realized that connections and people you know and those who you meet is important is when I randomly got hooked up with. I was in college and I got to be an assistant, an unpaid assistant, but I still thought it was so cool, for Sam Moore, who is part of Sam and Dave. So they're the ones who sang Soul Man.
Oh.
I'm a soul man. And hold on, I'm coming. Yeah. So I was his personal. Exactly.
I've got tons of
into
that
it.
shit.
I was his personal assistant for
I wish
4
I had
years.
trumpet right there. Like I should have.
I know. Yeah, Blues Brothers, based on them and
Dig it.
everything.
So
So, yeah.
You get that opportunity.
I got that opportunity. I got to sing background vocals for him at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. I got to have like this fun 5 years of life where I was touring with him and acting as his assistant.
Yeah.
And I realized I loved the business side of music.
Oh,
so I went.
That led to the MBA.
Yeah, I went to Nashville, got an MBA, music business. I got to work in country music there for like Tim McGraw, Luke Bryan, all these fun people.
Sure.
Yeah, so I spent like a decade of my life working in the music business, then in Texas, had a music
and were
school.
you, like, when you say I was working in that business, were you, like, working as part of an agency kind of thing or something?
At
or working
first, and
consulting?
then I started my own talent buying agency.
Okay.
So I would, and management, so I would represent artists and get them on festivals and things like that.
Yeah, yep.
And then, that's kind of a tough job, especially in Texas. Like, you got musicians.
It seems a lot like work. Marketing seems a lot like work, too,
Yeah,
but we'll get to that.
And it's like a, job at like 2 a.m. Your artist is calling you like, hey, the venue didn't pay me. Like, okay, you got to have your phone on standby. And I started having my kids and I'm like, oh man, I'm too old for this. I want to go to bed at 9. I don't really want to be in this business anymore. Moved here to Colorado, and kind of one of those rebirth moments, like where, I knew nobody here. I no longer had my connections
How
to
did
the
you
music
connect
industry.
Here at all? USA
I
Today article.
well,
Best places to
I
live.
too married the wrong person at one time.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to
Cheers to that.
and moved here, and I
But
truly
you never married the wrong person.
Yeah,
Kerrie.
Never been married.
Yeah, not yet. Knew no one and moved here, literally having no connections here, and spent about a year here. And my personal motto was like, I want to go to all the networking events. I want to go to as many things as possible. I want to get connected into
See
the
who's out
community
there.
and see if this is a place where I want to be long term. I did that for about a year and a half. I loved it, wanted to be here, realized, okay, I want to be in this community. And to me, how I thought I could establish my next steps was by owning a business because I've been an entrepreneur. And hence, I bought my salon. Not a hairstylist.
You're not a hairstylist.
I'm not a hairstylist.
Oh, fascinating.
I
I've
am not.
never met a salon owner that wasn't at some point a hairstylist.
Yeah. It was a very interesting decision. I looked at all kinds
Were
of
you
things.
you were just bebopping around? You had like a settlement divorce thing, something,
No, I was
something?
still married then, and I was trying to find something to do and keep me occupied. I looked at all kinds of businesses that were for sale. I looked at a bakery, and then I realized you had to be up at 2 a.m. to bake donuts, and I was like,
Time to make the donuts,
No, that's not a good
Jackie.
business for me. So looked at the hair salon, thought it would be fun. Women, kind of a women-centric business, which was
Yeah.
important to me. I have 2 daughters. I wanted to see, them to see that environment. Bought the salon 3 or 4 years ago and opened the art gallery next to it. That was my own project that I did. And I've just, I find joy and I learn new things every day.
Yeah.
It has helped me be more ingrained into the community and meet business owners
Sure.
and
Meet a ton of
people
people.
and nonprofits. So it's been a great way to integrate myself.
Tell me about the secrets to success in the salon business. And then question part 2 is like, on the gallery side, like, what's that look like as a business model in general?
Yeah. So for the salon, I think I've really learned. I've had businesses in the past, but that were mostly based upon around me. I haven't had a lot of employees in my businesses, a lot of consulting, or
It was
I'm
what
the,
you knew. You knew this artist, you
exactly.
knew this venue, you knew this power
Yeah.
broker in the music scene.
Yeah, I think employees are very important. Having the right team
They're
and the
real
right
pain in the
culture.
ass, too.
Right. And I think they're great employees, but also it's a big challenge. I finding the right team is a challenge. So that's what I've been learning with and working with for all the 4 years that I've been there.
Awesome.
And then
gallery.
The gallery, the business model there is we highlight about 4 to 5 artists, local artists at a time. We rotate out the art about once a quarter. And it's a commission. It's not just an art gallery. It's really a community space is the
event
idea.
space almost, so you
Yeah.
can get people actually through there to see the stuff.
So tying back to the Mayorettes, we're hosting an event there at the
cool.
end of May.
Okay.
For Animal Friends Alliance. It's a puppy yoga class. And
Awesome.
yeah, all the funds go to Animal Friends Alliance. We're going to have some local artists there showing their works and selling things. And yeah, it's just another way that we can integrate the business
Is it
into
all like
the nonprofits.
puppies and kittens and?
Yeah, there's puppies running around you while you're doing
raccoons.
yoga. You might get peed on, but it's all part of the charm.
I was thinking about the art,
It's for the
especially.
dog.
Well, I actually bought a piece of art from the gallery
Was it a
recently.
raccoon?
No,
Yes.
it was a painting with ducks on it.
That's
I posted
more
it on my
likely.
LinkedIn. And to me, I was like, this is so cool. She actually had a couple of pieces that I was interested in. There was one earlier that was a beehive comb environment, and I also am a beekeeper, so I was like really
cool.
into that. And then she flips
She's so
them.
country.
Stop, guys.
Just saying.
Listen, but I bought a piece of art, and it was great. It was like a great experience for me as a buyer, and it's hanging up in my kitchen, and I love it.
Yeah.
Hey. Yeah.
What else would you have people know?
Well, and I would just say, talk about community and everything there. So that artist who did her duck painting used to be a stylist at my salon.
Oh, cool.
And when I opened the gallery, I said, guys, I'm opening this art gallery. And she said, well, I've
been
like to
painting stuff for
dabble in
3
art.
years.
I'm kind of like an amateur artist. And I kid you not, she's our top selling artist, Verboten, who's also in my shopping center.
Yeah, yeah.
Love them. They bought like 4 of her pieces. If you go into their tap room, you'll see all of her pieces. So it's just really you see community all tied together in that example.
Super cool. We've all decided to not go to our next experiences and to open another bottle of wine. So I think that's a good decision.
Yes.
Thank you, Mayorettes.
Choices are made.
What I think I want to come back into now, because we kind of got into the career, how you got here, how you got passionate about good causes and stuff a little bit. And I want to show you your swag.
Ooh.
This is being a guest.
Do you want me to pass this down? Let's
Sure,
pass it
that
down.
would be easier.
Cool.
Of the Loco Experience podcast, you have
We do love swag.
that is our Crazy Ginger Hot Sauce, produced
Yum.
by Matador Mexican Grill,
I love
Nice.
it.
and that is a peach, bell pepper, habanero are the top 3 ingredients. But then it's got a ton of fresh garlic, a ton of habanero, and those
carrots.
are
So it's healthy.
Yes, no, it's
Yeah,
healthy
it's
hot
like
sauce.
vegetables.
Drink it.
And how do you guys feel about hot sauce? Do you like hot sauce?
I like hot sauce.
Well, I'm from
You
Texas.
like hot sauce?
So.
Okay.
Oh, they
All
like
right.
it.
My family's from New Mexico, so we like green
Peruvian,
chili.
All right.
Texan, New Mexico.
So we're
like
gonna.
hot sauce.
I'm gonna just wander across the room here slightly and grab some chips, and you can try the Crazy Ginger now if you want to. Coming back
Love
to the
it.
group.
Would love to.
Before we get to you, Kerrie, I'm gonna pass this delicately around the corner.
Oh, okay.
This is the Crazy
Tiny
Ginger.
little-
There's some that have just a couple drops, some that have a little more.
the crazy ginger.
Take that one.
This is the Crazy Ginger hot sauce.
So
and
this is made where? With
this is made at Matador Mexican Grill.
Right by my house.
And it is available to purchase from Matador as individual bottles,
Here's
or
like mango.
if you're a wholesale
Oh, wow.
type client, you can also purchase this by the case and feature it in your restaurant. But it definitely
Wow,
has
that's
a
delicious.
distinctive flavor.
Ben, I'm gonna need a water.
It tastes like habanero
I think I'm weak
and
now.
mango. There's like a mango vibe in
It's kind of
there.
that peach.
Is it
a
peach?
peach carrot probably is what's coming across.
It's the
That's
ginger.
The ginger might be
I think that's too
my
spicy.
the
Gusta.
Peruvian likes
It's not
it.
too spicy for the
The
New Mexico
girl.
Texan is
vibes.
losing it.
Texan's like,
yeah, you need
sorry,
to get
that's too
back.
much.
Do you need water? Do you want a shot?
I think.
You want a shot of the
Yeah, I am allergic to water.
Whiz-Cal?
Yeah.
Oh, we can have a shot of the
probably
Whiz-Cal. Yeah, let's do it.
No, I was
No, that will help the taste for sure.
See.
Yeah, C. Okay, Whiz-Cal. Okay.
Sí. Estamos bien.
Wait, no.
Just sip it, girl. This is
Whiz-Cal, not
you know what?
Whiz-Cal.
Happy wedding.
I didn't think that was too spicy.
I did. That's
Really?
good. I'm losing my
You're
Texan.
losing your edge.
I will start sweating.
I need to.
losing my
Jackie, don't
edge.
feel
I need to cook you
obligated
some
to-
Peruvian food.
It's good. I like it.
Do not feel any obligation to having more, but you like the
No
pain.
like
pain,
the
no
pain.
gain, baby.
I get sweaty anymore, so I like.
I like
show
when it
off.
like cleans like.
the sinuses a little.
Yeah.
It has to be very hot to clean my sinus.
So if you're listening out there, go to Matador, order a
Yeah.
bottle of Crazy Ginger hot sauce. I'm gonna do these half pours.
I do like Matador, and they have
more.
such a good social presence.
We're all canceling our next event anyway.
Do you guys follow them on
And
social
I
media?
love their breakfast burrito. I'm gonna
Yeah,
put
no,
that on my
Matador is
next
the best.
breakfast burrito.
Good.
Best.
So
I
they
have 10
have
punches actually. I'm getting a free one.
That's a sweet.
Jackie loves her
I'm
sweet
wonderful.
coupons.
I love that kind of thing. Oh, can we do the pass down thing again?
Yeah. Carrie Ann.
Jackie and
So this is a good
coupons,
time to
I love
mention-
it.
I know.
It's so
I'm
funny.
the deal queen.
It's a good time to mention thank you to our sponsor, Seed and Spirit Distilling,
This is the
Great. Thank you,
the
sponsor.
creators of WizCal. So, have you guys had WizCal before?
No, tell me about
never
this.
heard of it.
This
Yeah.
is so Seed and Spirit Distilling is a local distilling. They're taking over Funkworks. They'll have an oyster bar and lounge there with a private room soon, which might be a great
Love that.
collaboration for the
That's
Mayorettes
good.
at some point. Food trucks as well for real food, barbecue, pizzas. But like they're raising their own corn. Like they bought a combine down in freaking New Mexico,
Love
so
that.
they could harvest their own corn, so they could sprout it and grow it and turn it into whiskey. And WizCal is originally was their innovation was to kind of we got to find a way to start having some revenues, and so this young whiskey, but then combined with that barrel aged mezcal agave kind of thing became actually they have the trademark on WizCal, so it's literally a hybrid of whiskey and mezcal. And so love to have
this is a
your
little smoky.
your thoughts on it. They
that's
distill
some mezcal in it.
bourbon and
All
rye.
right,
and
so
Salute.
cheers. Salute.
to the Mayorettes,
Salute.
may they be
Salute.
strong, and perhaps many if we decide to at some point.
Maybe we should make our own liquor.
Yeah, you probably should.
Interesting.
Oh, it's very soft.
Yeah, it's pretty gentle.
Wow. Jackie.
Very good.
It's actually a premium. Yeah, it's a nice product. Jackie's like,
I may or
guys
may not
scare
have
me.
pretended to drink it.
you don't have
Octopus.
to.
No, I'm going to try it for real now.
It's good. So where are they?
Oh,
They're
actually,
going
that's not
into
bad at all.
Funkworks.
They've
They're
been
not
in the
there
back
yet?
of
That's
Funkworks,
great.
but they'll have the front open soon for a retail environment.
Interesting.
It's very
Yes.
it's not white. So it's not like super
Yeah, it's not like a young baby whiskey that's
Yeah.
trying to fight your tongue.
Oh, this is whiskey.
Well, it's
It's
whiskey and
whiskey
mezcal.
mezcal mix.
It's a whiskey
Oh,
mezcal
wow.
hybrid.
Okay.
It's
I
a
can-
hybrid. The name.
Interesting. I don't taste the whiskey, which is good.
Really? Okay, good.
I feel like whiskey puts like hair
Well,
on my
mezcal
chest.
is already kind of smoky, and so if you're not used to
Right,
drinking
right.
mezcal, you might kind of
Totally.
You know.
And mezcal catches people off guard a lot.
totally.
Like they're like, oh, this is
It's
gross.
smoky. Yeah, very smoky.
They're not expecting it.
It is
Okay.
good.
They're ready for some like Jose Cuervo, and then they're like,
Yes,
This is good.
true.
yeah.
Love it.
Muy bien.
Muy bien. See,
I trust the Peruvian.
Now
the
that all
most.
of our
Literally.
mouths are like,
On fire.
Yes. Carrie,
yes, okay.
set your mouth on fire telling us. So you got into CSU, your
Mm-hmm.
first generation college. You're DECA proven
Mm-hmm.
in the business realm that influenced your like degree pursuit and stuff like that. Did you know you were wanted to do business something?
I claimed my major the first day of college.
Which was
And my major was I have a degree in journalism and technical communications with a concentration in public relations.
just fixing my hair.
At the time I had a minor in Spanish because it felt like a natural extension since I
Sure.
spoke Spanish. But throughout my career of college, they were like, what are you going to do with this Spanish minor? So I ended up actually changing it to business administration.
Okay.
But I never changed my major, which is pretty unheard of to like go into college as a freshman and claim your major and then never change it. And so I
Yeah.
graduated with a journalism degree from CSU.
Okay.
But I paid for my college myself. I am part Native American, but I have no papers. And so I couldn't, I didn't get a whole lot of support from any kind of like federal environment. And so a
Your
lot of
parents
it
made
was.
enough money you didn't get Pell Grants, but also
My parents made enough money that I got great FAFSA rates.
right, right, good loan rates. Yeah.
But like, I don't know, for some reason it didn't math out. And so my parents didn't really have the money to pay for me to go to a state university. They wanted me to go to Metro,
Sure.
which at the time was it was like Metro State, and I think it turned into Metro
State University is now, but it was kind of
it wasn't MSU at the time. It was Metro, like it was more of like a community college,
more like Front Range.
And so I was like, I worked my ass off in high school, and so I really wanted to go to CSU or CU or somewhere.
Proper college.
Well, and I'm not talking shit on Metro, but it was like, honestly, I was like, I need to get farther away from my parents. I'm an only child. I would like to have a little bit more autonomy. And I was a varsity basketball player.
Oh, you were?
I was.
Okay.
And I quit playing basketball my junior year because I was like, I'm going to get a job and I'm going to save money so I can pay for college. And I actually had 2 jobs.
You weren't good enough to get a scholarship.
I wasn't special enough. Honestly, like I wasn't top 10. I wasn't a great athlete. Like, I was good. I tried hard.
Solid.
I got, like, the Try Hard award for pretty much everything. But I was never the best at anything.
Didn't
and
quite
that was
have the hops to go to Division I kind of thing.
Exactly.
Whatever.
In my head, it was like I was always really good, but I was never the best at pretty much anything. And so that made it hard to get scholarships. And so I had to make the choice of, am I going to stay close to home, take these loans, you know, try to figure this out? Or in high school, I was like, I'm just going to stop doing sports competitively because I know I'm not going to play in college. Like, I'm not that good. I'm 5'8". I'm not tall enough to be.
You're going to work 20 hours a week instead or something.
And I had 2 jobs. I worked at Arby's and I worked at a Mexican restaurant in Brighton called La Estrellita. And I had those 2 jobs and I worked both those jobs and I saved my money and I applied for scholarships. And I remember I won a scholarship from United Power, which is the power provider in Brighton. And in my scholarship essay, I literally said, I am good at a lot of things and I'm not the best at anything. And I need this money because, no one rewards the people who just try really hard.
Yeah, it's true. That's awesome.
So I got I got a small scholarship there. I got a small scholarship.
Well, Val and Miles did.
From Brighton.
Later.
Yeah, they gave me a flyer, right? But I
don't know. You earned it.
I paid but that's the thing, is like I always paid my way. So in college, I worked full time. I worked in restaurants. I worked at Austin's. I worked at the Rio. I worked at Old Chicago and Old Town. Like, I worked at all the places. I was a service person because to me that was the most upside. You can make the most money.
Really, in some ways, that qualified you for the Mayorettes in some ways.
And for
gathered
marketing.
you a ton of marketing knowledge for psychology and how to interact with people, communicate.
Yep. I worked actually for a lot of years while I was still kind of going into the marketing world. So I started my marketing career and I still waitressed on the side because I needed to make the money because I was paying my own rent, I was paying off my own student loans, I was, trying to pay for gas, all that
Save
stuff
up to
on my
someday buy a
own.
damn house.
So I went to CSU. I started interning very young. So I got my first internship when I was about 18. It was actually at a place called Light Source Creative Communications, which used to be across from Washington.
Yeah. Right where the Edge Optics is now.
It is where Edge Optics is now. I remember they gave me a pass to the parking garage, and I thought I was like rich. I was like, I am so
this
cool.
This costs like $300 a month.
Yeah, I had no idea. I drove a Grand Prix with like 250,000 miles on it, and I was like, I can park in
It
this
might have been the
parking
one I
garage.
drove to this town. Was it a gray V6?
It was a gray, not a
5-speed?
5-speed. I don't know. But it was gray. No, it was so funny though. And so I did that internship. Back in the day, internships were not paid. So I was an unpaid intern. So I would like kind of wake up early, go to my internship, then I would go to college, school classes, and then I would go waitress at night. And so it was kind of a lot. And it was like balancing all these things. And so I ended up getting an internship at an agency in town when I was about 21 called Mantooth.
Oh, sure.
Marketing. Connie Hanrahan hired me. And that was the first internship I was like paid for.
Right.
Thought it was really cool. I was like, I'm a professional now. I'm getting paid. And she actually introduced me largely to this idea of philanthropy. And she's very philanthropic. Her and her husband, John.
John was a member of our Rotary Club for quite a few years. Maybe she's part of yours. I don't know.
She's not a part of mine, but she introduced me to a lot of these concepts. And that really was a moment for me to... My parents weren't in a position to be giving back fiscally, and she owned a business and showed me that was a way that you could build your business and meet people and network and build community. Cool. And so I learned a lot of that from her, and I took this internship, and we had an account manager who ended up getting pregnant and going on maternity leave, and I stepped in for her. And that was kind of an inroad for me.
Sure.
And I started basically full-time account managing for a marketing agency before I had graduated college. And so when I graduated, I was like, I'm already doing these things, you know. And actually, my last year of college, I was like, why am I still here? Like, I already know what I'm doing.
I just quit.
But I was like, stick it out. You already have to pay for it, so you might as well finish, kind of a thing. And so I pieced together all these small scholarships. Started early. I also had an internship at Elitch Gardens in Denver, which was really fun. They also paid me nominally. It was a very interesting experience. But I had all of these real world experiences. Yeah. And I used that to kind of propel me into my career. And this was also around the time that Facebook became a thing. And so that was an opportunity for me on the younger side to look at what are marketing companies not doing. And I was able to go, hey, I know how to use Facebook. I've been on Facebook for 4 or 5 years. Businesses should be on here. And so I started. And
it was good times at that time, when
no one else was doing it.
When Bear's Backyard Grill started a Facebook page as a food trailer.
It was new.
I had 800 followers in 2 months. Yep. I think NOCO Think Tank doesn't even have that many now after 12 years, whatever.
Well, and I remember, I think I was 22 or 23, and I had this idea. I was like, we should make packages where we manage Facebook pages for businesses. And, Connie at the time was like, go for it. Who do you want to sell? And I was like, I don't know. I don't know what I'm doing. But I went in and I actually talked to the general manager of the Hilton on Prospect, and I sold him. And it was the first package I had ever sold.
Oh, wow.
And I sold it by myself. I built the package, and then I had to deliver the package. But it was the first thing that I was like, I think this will support your business. This is how. These are the metrics we're going to do. This is how much you're going to pay me. I'm going to deliver it. And I did all this, and I was 22 years old.
Which is actually, you're kind of underselling it a little bit, but there's a huge metric in that, because even still, the marketing agency industry kind of standard is you can pay us X amount a month for some basically ambiguous outcomes and do it for a long time, please.
Yeah. Just pay me forever.
And don't ask too much about the outcomes.
Yeah.
Anyway, I digress a little bit, but especially back in those days, it was very unknown about what that looks like.
Well, and
I think Facebook changed it, because now you could say, we have
here's numbers.
400 people data. Come to your site or whatever.
Well, and I think because I didn't grow up with a lot of money, money is very finite in my
it's
purview.
Precious to you.
To me, I look at money, and if somebody is going to give me their money, a business is going to give me their money, I am going to respect that at a very, very deep level. Yeah. And I still do with our clients. This is a big deal. You're trusting me with budget. You're trusting me with money. This is money that you would spend on your family, your children, your groceries. And so I don't take that lightly. And I think all of these different components of me, having to earn my way in order to do the things that I wanted to do and build the freedom I wanted to build, I'm I'm never going to take somebody's trust for granted in that way.
Yeah.
So, and then I met Val and Miles, and they hired me, and I joined the team, and it's been almost 15 years.
Yeah, and 5 years later or something, they made you a partner.
Yeah,
you earned that opportunity.
I joined in 2023, and they made me a partner in 2018. Sorry, they hired me in 2013, and then they made me a partner in 2018, and I've been a partner
5 years
since.
later. I said 5 years later.
Yeah, look at you. You probably remember this from their podcast.
No, not really. I'm just kind of feeling the way the vibe is.
No.
Well, it takes a while to earn trust.
Yeah.
And that thing, and what they said in my podcast with them was, if you acted like an owner for since you started, then after a while, then that opportunity can come. But otherwise, you can't bribe somebody to act like an owner.
No, you can't. And Val and Miles are fantastic partners. And I think like the ability for me to be a part of the Mayorettes in the way that I am is a big, thank you. It's a testimony to them trusting me and also giving me the freedom to be able to go and do these things. And they give me budget. They're like, they understand
That's cool.
how important it is to the community.
Well, and I really got to know Val and Miles through Rotary Club, where the Rotary Club got them as members and was like, here's all of our website and technical needs. Can you just do that for us? That'd be great. And we burned them up, and they were members for 2, 3, 4 years, and God bless them. They started having kids and stuff and whatnot too. But their heart for both community and international causes is very resonant.
Yeah.
Well, and they had a foreign exchange student, and also
we shared one at one point.
Most recently, Miles was the president of the board for the chamber board.
I know.
And, so I think also as our business matures, there are other things that we're focusing on. And Miles and Val have both been very involved in, like, Val was in the Legislative Alliance Committee. And so there's all these things where it's like, we want to make sure it's a good place to work and live because we work and live here.
Yeah.
And so however that shows up.
Yeah. I'll hold my tongue on that. No, I think like for Val especially to get into that kind of an engagement and see kind of the back of the house stuff, I think it's probably been really fulfilling for her.
Yeah. I don't want to do that, but
right.
I'd rather do
the
this.
little non-profity things and some social media
I
posts.
am not I don't want to be in politics. Yeah.
What? Jackie, you are sporting some new hardware.
I am.
And it surprised your girlfriends here on the Mayorettes, and so can we turn the focus to that?
We and Giuli are drinking. Do you see this? We picked up our drink. Let's talk about it.
Well, they know Zach, and we just got eloped. We eloped in New Orleans last week.
Okay.
We had it planned for a while. But we just chose to kind of keep it between us and our kids, and it was a really amazing, fun experience and trip, and we have a lot of great photos and memories from it, and we're having a party this weekend to celebrate it. So.
Cool.
Can I tell you a funny story?
Sure.
So Jackie sends us this invite to this party this weekend, and I'm like, what the fuck?
Well, she sent us the picture first.
Yeah. Well, so
like her getting married or something?
Well, it was she sent some of the
surprise.
But wait. So I opened my calendar because I'm like, let me make sure I don't have anything else going on. And I already have an event at Jackie's house on my calendar. So she actually thought about this ahead of time and made a fake party.
Yes.
And so I put her fake party on my calendar.
Literally.
So then she sent us the actual the marriage celebration party. And I'm with Giuli and I open my calendar and I go, wait, why do I already have a party?
And then I opened mine up and I was like, wait, I already have this time blocked on my calendar too.
Yep, very sneaky. We planned it this way. Yes. So it was really fun. I think we pulled off the surprise, didn't we? Yeah, your surprise. Surprise.
Julie's response was, "Is this AI?"
No, it was real.
Would you like to tell because both of you guys had previous misfires on the finding a good fella kind of thing, and both have you're remarried as well.
About to be.
I am
you're sporting
getting
some hardware,
married
too.
1 month from today.
Oh, 1 month from today.
Yeah,
That's
June
exciting.
13th.
So let's just talk to the Second Chance Club out there about how to find a good guy after misfiring on the first round. Who would like to start?
I can start. So I think past the trauma of my last marriage, one of the first things I wanted was peace. I wanted someone that was peaceful and not insane and positive, right? So I met Wesley, and Wesley and I have been together for 5 years, and he is the extreme positive man that I've ever met. Like, the house will be on fire, and he'd be like, good thing it's insured. Let's just go move our stuff out.
Yeah, let's get the kids,
You
make
know
sure
what I mean?
they're
Like,
safe.
it's so much positive. And I'm the complete opposite, where I'm like high anxiety and I'm like always thinking the worst of every situation.
You're a
And
worrier.
he is the extreme. He's so calm and so positive. And even when I'm going through these hard times with work or with my son, he's always like, well, it could be worse. I'm like, well, you're right. It could literally be worse, right? So
worse.
it is. I love meeting Wesley. It was the best thing I could have ever done, is being able to connect with him and being able to say, like, this is my person, this is my peace. And people are like, why do you love him? And I'm like, he's my person of peace. He brings the peace to my life, and he brings the positivity. And no matter if my car was on fire on I-25, he'd be like, it's okay, I'll pick you up and we'll find another car. And, so it's very nice. And the best part is he loves my son, and he's the second dad. He's been since day one. So it's been great. And
Kudos,
so we're
Wes.
getting married in a month, and it's
job.
very exciting. So
Congratulations.
I'm not surprising anybody.
Jackie, do you want to do your chapter?
No,
on,
I think
second chapters.
I think all three of us are with a partner that we are three strong personalities.
Yes.
Three strong women for sure.
So
and
you
I
need
would
whipping boys.
And I would say all of our partners are very different than us, but in the most positive way that brings out the best in us.
Yeah.
Okay.
I see that in Wesley. I see that in Zach. I see that in my Zach. And really, this whole yin yang concept is kind of true, I think.
Sure.
And we have fun with our partners. We have so much fun together. I have kids like Giuli does, and my husband's a great father figure to them as well. And I feel a lot of peace. Because, we're kind of not chaos. It's like good
a person of
chaos in our
choice,
life,
kind of.
and
Yeah.
we're big personalities. And I think all of our partners ground us and support us 100%.
Kerrie, I'm not gonna call attention, but these two girls are rocking like big rocks.
I have no rings
You
on my
don't
fingers.
have any.
So
But she's got a lot of ducks.
But I've seen you with the same fella for
Yeah.
quite a while, really.
well, and let
I
me
think, right? Am I right
yeah,
about that?
yeah, you are right. So if I had married all of the men that I thought I'd marry, I'd be divorced also. I'm not divorced, but I am with the person that I think that I'll be with for the rest of my life, and his name is also Zach. So Jackie and I
confusing.
both have a Zach.
Are they both CH Zacks?
yeah.
so-
But also, when she sent me her marriage, I definitely texted it to my Zach and was like, she got married and I still don't have a ring.
Oh.
We've been together for about 6 years.
Okay.
We lived together.
So
with
you
a-
would accept a ring if it was off?
Oh,
It doesn't even have to be like
would
that
accept is
rockin'.
hilarious. I'm like, when are you going to do this? I will do it first. I actually have this.
I will put something on your hand, mother.
So I have this. I did.
We've talked about that.
I threatened him. I said, I will propose first. Do you want to live with that?
right.
Like with
Do you
your
want to
friends?
tell your friends that's how it went down?
No, I mean, here's the thing. We have been living together for
You have
4
ducks together.
years. We have ducks together. We have a duck coop together. We have dogs. We have 3 dogs. We have a cat. We have a lot of things going on. We will get married. Him and I are both very non-traditional, so we would never have a wedding. Like, we would never do a lot of those things, and so the pressure is really more internally focused. Like, when do we feel like we need to do it? And I'm putting the pressure on. I am putting.
You don't have 3 more years, Zach.
Yeah, Zach,
she's
get
gonna
it
want a ring on
together.
it.
I'm gonna take a clip of this and just send it to
Yeah,
him.
zoom in, Ben.
Zoom
Which
in.
camera should she look at?
Get it together. Now,
Right here.
now Zach is great, and you've met Zach.
for sure.
He's amazing, and I think it's one of those things. He also owns his own business, and
Okay.
so we're busy, and we're just always. There's always something to do. We're always distracted, and so we just need to make the time for those kinds of things.
So I'm doing the math. Like, all of you guys are quite a bit older than my eyes would give me credit for. But if you want to have kiddos like these ladies, Kerrie, you're
That's
gonna have
nice.
to pull the goalie and do it. Like, is that a temptation?
Yeah. I mean, so I'll put it this way. We both have children in that we have businesses, and real human children sometimes the things these ladies tell me, I'm like, oh Lord, absolutely not. Why would I ever do that? And sometimes I'm like, oh, they're so
That's
cute.
so
Like, so my significant other is a big dirt bike guy, and he took
little
her.
kids on dirt
He's
bikes is
taken all
amazing.
of their kids. Like, he teaches everybody's children how to ride dirt bikes. It's like a passion of his, and I'm like, man, if he were to teach our kid, that would be very cute. But I also think we're both very open
You're not pining on it
we're not
necessarily.
pining on anything.
All right.
We're just letting the world take us where we need to go. And also, I do have a bunch of ducks.
Yeah, you
So-
do.
Right.
Her ducks
You
are
know,
a lot of
my
fun.
homestead fills a lot of my cup. So we'll see.
Yes.
Only time will tell on the rest.
Yeah.
Fair. I can leave it there. We want to drift into the purpose-driven questions because Purpose-Driven Wealth is an awesome sponsor of the show. Thank you, Clint and team. Thank you to Purpose-Driven Wealth of Thrivent for sponsoring our Purpose-Driven Questions segment. At Purpose-Driven Wealth, they believe financial clarity leads to a life of contentment and purpose. Their mission is to help guide clients using a values-driven, stewardship-based approach focused on provision, contentment, and enjoyment. With more than a century of experience, Thrivent helps individuals and families navigate life and business transitions and prepare for the future while creating space to live generously and give back in meaningful ways. To learn more about Purpose-Driven Wealth, please call 970-330-7411 for a complimentary initial consultation. And now, on to the questions. I'm going to do this one first, and I'm going to ask for kind of tap answers because what's the time check, Kerrie?
5:50.
Oh. So, what is the source? And I guess I'll just ask for whoever really feels compelled to chime in. And then I might move some other questions if you're feeling less compelled. So, what's the source of your internal compass when it comes to ethical decision making? Because I've heard kind of some really significant, like, firm places. Like, you have some criteria, whether they're defined or not, and whatever. But like, who will support, who won't, who will let our children be in a relationship with, or me, and who's whatever. Like, what's that source of the compass for you? Who wants to start? You.
Are you
Well,
nosy?
I can give a very
Not
short
it, Julie
answer.
says.
I think mine personally is faith driven.
Okay.
Okay, mine is not faith driven at all, which is so fun, right? Like how different
Totally.
we are.
100%.
I'm not faith driven by any means.
Like, you didn't grow up. No
I did not.
churches
Nope.
around, blah,
No
blah, blah.
churches. None of that for me.
Even now, you're like,
Nope.
meh.
Nope.
meh.
But I think I'm very much driven from the sense of like, let's go rotary
More
on
like
this.
Plato,
like
or the
the
four-way
four-way
test.
test. Is it the truth?
like,
is it fair?
I
Is
studied
it
a lot of
will
Greek
it build
philosophy
goodwill?
in college, and so they don't really have gods per se,
Right.
but what is the right thing to do
Yep.
anyway?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think honestly the four-way test with Rotary is probably the best way to describe how I approach it. It's like, are you being honest? Are you, doing what's right for other people?
Yeah.
Are you trying to create connections with people? And is it fair?
Yeah.
Like that, in a nutshell, is kind of how I operate.
Yeah,
dig it.
I would say the same. I can pick up on a lot of BS,
Okay.
and I think I would
You're-
like the foundation to be the truth, right? Like, can I trust
Yeah.
what you're bringing forward?
Yeah.
And I think that's where mine comes from.
Well, and like from a faith perspective, like the word is the truth kind of
Yeah.
element, right? Like logos, right?
Yeah.
Jackie, what's your background in that space, or would you care to expand further?
Well, I mean, I grew
You're
up
Texas
Christ-
country, right?
Yeah,
so it's
yeah. I grew
Baptist
up
mostly,
well,
right?
Methodist, but
and
I've
Baptist, all right.
definitely had my own personal faith journey, and I left the church for a while, and I've come back, and I think I'm my favorite word for the past many years now has been grace. I think that's a word I like to try to live by. I like to give people grace, give myself grace. I've had to give myself a lot of grace
Totally.
in the past few years. So that's kind of how I've been approaching the world lately, through a graceful eye.
That word actually was the cornerstone of my own eventual acceptance of faith, because it was like the differentness of kind of Christian faith compared to others.
Yeah.
a lot of performative otherwise.
Yeah.
But I say I give easy grace because I require so much of it. How could I ask people?
Sure. Yeah. Exactly.
If I can't be an easy dispenser of grace, then I'm doing it wrong.
Exactly.
And accountability too, right? Like you can't if you're too easy of a dispenser of grace, then people will run all over you and take you for granted and whatever else. You want one more of these?
Sure.
All right, let's see. Have you ever had to realign your business with your values? And can you describe kind of the circumstance or outcomes of that at all? Or re-engage with your business differently?
I mean,
because of
I can go.
values?
I can start.
All right.
So I live in a interesting world right now.
For sure.
We're
Your industry
marketing.
is one of the most probably
Disrupted.
Yeah.
So marketing and sales consulting, AI, right?
For
like
sure.
I would say right now what we're facing is, can AI do it? Can AI replace people? There's all of this talk. And so I would say what does that look like from us where we are a very people-oriented organization and culturally we care a lot about people and
despite
growing
the
people.
non kind of faithful orientation, it's still all about making better humans, being better citizens, better every day.
Yeah, and I think at first AI came in hot and it was exciting and people were like, replace people, fire people, get lean and all this. And I think for us, it has been about how do you actually cultivate and coach people to be the best human in the loop as possible, which is different, right? So people who have grown, went to college, got degrees in maybe marketing, and they're copywriters and they are creatives and they're like, I'm good at my job because I'm good at writing and I'm creative in these ways. How do you get those people to go, I'm going to use a tool that's going to maybe write my first draft for me.
Yeah.
And not lose that piece of me. And so I think for us, we've had to reshape our organization around what does it look like to actually just be really good at creating context. And the context is where your creativity can come in. And there's always an endpoint. Like a human touches everything that we do. Like we're never going to be like, just ship it, AI robot. No, that is crazy. We would immediately get fired. But the idea that you can't find ways to accelerate your creativity and spend more time on the pieces that you like and less time on the pieces that you don't like. That's been really challenging though, because we don't know. Nobody knows. We're all kind of figuring it out as we go. And I'm very lucky that our team, we have a great tenure. Like our average tenure is like 5 years.
Right.
Like our people have been with us for a long time.
So it's not new to them, and your customers, most of them, you guys have been growing pretty fast, but a lot of your customers, it's like,
oh yeah, we have clients that we've had for 18
ones.
years.
Right.
And so that has been hard. And it's like, how do you balance humans and technology? I think that'll be the thing that I wrestle with as a business owner in this space for the rest of my life, like my career.
Yeah.
Will always be that, and the thing that I probably coach clients on, because that it's going to be the way that it is. So.
Okay, I'm going to leave it there. I almost want to have like a 1 hour longer podcast.
I know you want to talk about that.
Would either of you ladies have a story to share in that space of kind of realignment or notions? Has it changed your industry in the life sciences space, Giuli?
I mean, in the HR space. I mean, my job has gotten
people is
easier.
people,
I mean, we're being coached to use AI. So
Right.
we're being coached like, hey, let's make your job easier.
Yep,
let's
yep.
coach you on
We
how
don't
to
need
use
you
the
to
resources.
take in 300 applicants for
exactly.
this job.
Yeah,
You can,
yeah. So
reduce it
I
down.
have seen the positive at AI through my job. So
So far, not
so
so
far,
much.
no concerns. Yeah.
Okay. Jackie, you were kind of transparent earlier about like running a music business industry and having an MBA and being an artist and a musician was quite a bit different from being like a salon owner successfully.
Yeah.
Can you talk to me about kind of that growth period, if you will, or like how that shook down, or maybe it's still in navigation? I don't know, but it feels like you've got a lot more confidence now than you did 4 years ago when you
3
started.
or 4 years ago. I think so. I think I naively went into the hair salon business thinking I've worked with
I'll just
Grammy
hair-
Award winners. I've worked
haircutting
with, you know,
people.
only Blue M&M writer type artists.
So let me tell.
If we're off the record, yes.
No, we're not off the record. It's honest, and they'll know it.
I'll get,
That's
like,
cool.
Working with women is definitely hard. I mean, like it's a hard, I'm not trying to be
It's a
bias,
different
but
game.
it's a different game, and
For sure.
it's, not to create a bias, but it's just,
and
it's very different.
Yeah.
I worked in banking where I was one of the, like, there was usually like 3 boys that got paid a lot, and then like 15 women that didn't get paid as much.
Oh, it's like the opposite of my company.
Right.
I'm just kidding.
Well, your company is all ladies.
I'm
Like,
joking, I'm
it's
joking. Miles makes
surrounded-
fine.
But I mean, it was,
Don't feel bad.
And in my banking career, Julie, to address the dinosaur, if you will, is I would have coworkers that were like, Kurt, you're such a not arrogant, bigoted asshole type compared to all the other bankers that we meet. And like as women would rise up in banking because they were Kerrie types, frankly, and would just kick shit out and get stuff done. They were like, "Oh, Kurt, you actually appreciate that I kick shit out and get stuff done. I'm not a threat to you."
Yeah.
Kind of thing. And that was an industry that was very old and very staid. And
Yeah.
anyway, I would just share that as kind of a chapter of my own. Like, I'm a farm kid from, like, I graduated high school class at 5. Like,
Yeah.
I'm rural.
Yeah.
Right? I'm country.
Yeah. Well, one of the
Like, I'm not as country as Kerrie is.
one of the
Get
things
out of here. I am not that
she's
country.
not country. No, one of the things I see with Gallipot is I think a lot of the women that work there look up to Jackie.
For
and
sure. As
They
they
do
should.
want to learn from her, and I think her giving back to the community and being so connected, I do think they look up to you a lot.
Yeah.
Well, thank you. And I think, I realize that I do have women employees that are in all stages of their lives. I have
sure.
ones that are moms who are working hard to feed their kids. And I also have
Yep.
20-something-year-olds who...
And they know the craft.
I
Don't
forget,
tell me
like,
what to do.
What was
I
I,
just
like
wanna cut hair.
when I was 20? I was probably in the break room talking about boys too,
Right.
it's just
And I
that-
needed some education
Right.
and professionalism and some...
Yes, and that's where that grace concept comes into play.
love
Like,
it. Love it.
I want to give all of my employees grace, and I do truly, at my heart, want to be a mentor to the women that work for me because, well, they don't. I mean, they are the team, and they
and honestly,
lift
it's
us up.
one of the most independent careers out there for women, especially, potentially single women, especially, because they can actually create a homestead supporting income almost as a single
Yeah,
person raising a
Well-
family. It's not great, but
Right.
it's at least sustainable for a non-educated
Yeah.
kind of
Well,
field.
so here's the thing too. So salons there are different types of salons.
For
so
sure.
there are salons that are 1099 and everybody's a booth renter contractor.
Yep.
And then there are W2 commission salons and
Yep.
those are employees. And
Yep.
that is a dramatic difference. When you are running a 1099 booth rental
Sure.
environment.
Go get your own customers.
It's
Don't worry
yeah,
about it.
it's very different. Jackie's running a W2 commission-based salon, which is like the equivalent of me running a marketing agency. It's like these are employees.
Yep.
We are paying
We're
for the
taking care of
marketing.
you,
We're
and if you
yeah,
perform well, you make more money.
exactly.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I think that's a challenging space to be in because culturally it's not that common.
It's like herding cats. They all want to be their own cat.
But it's also
kinda.
not. It's not that common. So like people.
Oh, right.
Like that
They're
is-
not accustomed to your
there-
style.
There are way more booth rental
Sure.
environments than
Well,
there
because
are.
the risk is lower, right?
Exactly.
All that.
Exactly. So to make the decision to run a W2 like commission based salon where these are
Totally.
employees, you're actually banking on your team far more than somebody booth renting.
Yeah,
It's
I don't
very
disagree with
different.
that. So yeah, thanks for sharing that and jumping in. I feel like we're like gonna run way over on time already, so let's just go to the local experiences.
Okay.
Okay.
Oh, does anybody want another shot of WizCal?
Oh my
before we do
God.
I think I'm good.
it? No, you're good.
He's like, "Do you want to get high?"
If you want to, yeah, I don't know. I'm just here to serve. I'm just here to serve. Does anybody want more red wine?
I've got my red.
Okay,
good, thanks.
Kerrie, you need a little more
I'm
red
good.
wine.
Good right now.
All right. So the craziest experience that you're willing to share that your mama's going to listen to, or your boyfriend, Zach, go ahead and put a ring on it. Like you're going to do
Zach
better.
Dex.
Come on. Right. Anyway, I digress. Sidebar.
Oh
Julie,
my gosh. I don't know.
a crazy experience. It might be crazy,
experience?
crazy. It might be crazy good. It might be crazy ironic.
Craziest.
It might be
most-
HR related. Some
most-
story that
oh my
Beckman
gosh.
Coulter will sue you for sharing
Shit.
online. That would be fun.
I think the craziest experience
didn't
I've
ask
ever
permission.
had that was very positive was I was 16 and I was in New Jersey, and my best friend, I call him Mikey, he's Michael now, but Mikey and we took the train into the city, and which I would never let my son do ever by himself at 16. But
interesting.
my mom was like, yeah, you good. Just don't lose each other. Like, we didn't have like iPhones at that time, whatever. And we were in Times Square, and we were kind of messing around, like just playing with our little digital camera, whatever. And these people came up to us and like, hey, do you want to be on MTV? And we're like, oh, that's awesome. Yeah, right now. And they're like, yeah, come meet this new band. They're called the Black Eyed Peas. And I was like, oh, that's weird. Yeah, sure, we'll go, right? Yeah. So they like take us, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of cool. You know, we're on TRL. And so we went to the show. They took pictures of us with Black Eyed Peas. They made us do these like weird, like, pretend that you like them. And we're like, oh, okay, yay. And we didn't really know who, like, they were brand new, right?
Sorry, never heard of them before.
So we went in, and then right afterwards, they grabbed us and like, hey, we want you to be regulars. And we're like, what? And they're like, yeah, we want you here like once, like 5 times a week. And we're like, and they're like, we'll just pay you by giving you tickets to TRL. You go to the VMAs, you go to the movie awards. We go to these random concerts, and we like look at each other. We're like, hell yeah. We're like 16, like turning 17. And we're like,
is this a twin brother?
No, this is my best friend.
Oh, your best friend.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And we're like, yeah, hell yeah, let's do this.
Yeah, we're in.
So I went home. My mom's like, what'd you do? And I was like, I'm on TRL. And she's like, stop. And I was like, no, literally, like, turn it on. And so they like zoom in on me, and like they tell you like clap and whatever. So we were
It's
regulars.
like fake news.
No, like literally.
For launching a new act,
for
basically.
like 2 months.
They rock. The Black Eyed Peas rock.
Yeah, we met like Mariah
without
Carey.
you, they might have not ever been cool.
Literally. We met Mariah Carey. We met like Matthew McConaughey. Like, we were extras for these people, and they loved us because we were like, yes, we clap hard, you know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, they loved it. So we did that for like 2 to 3 months, and we would go to the VMAs,
crazy.
and we would just have a seat next to these celebrities, and they'd be like, don't ask them for autographs. And I'm sitting next to Matthew McConaughey, and I'm like, hey, good movie, you know, like, yeah, you're awesome. So that is the crazy experience. Like, we never got paid, like Viacom never paid us, but we got to experience that, and we were 16 and 17, and all of our friends were like, you guys are
And tell me
fucking
about your
cool.
friend. Like, what was his, like, were they trying to check the color boxes at all?
I mean, he was gay and I'm Hispanic, so I do they check the boxes.
Sorry,
This cute little gay man.
That had to have been in like 2007, because if at that age, which would
No,
predate.
it was like 2004.
Yeah,
I
they
graduated in
So, like,
2006.
this is way predating.
Well, yeah, she's a friend setter.
the
Yeah,
not
but
a-
it was like in their minds of the
Right.
boxes, right? Like, it was there. So that was the
Sorry, that's a
craziest
rude
experience.
question, but that's crazy.
No, I mean, it's true
Carrie's
though.
like, I can't believe you asked that question.
No,
So-
I think it's
super
hilarious.
true. But
Intuitive.
that to me, like to this day, I will literally call Mikey and be like, "Hey, do you remember we did this?" And he's like, "Yeah,
love
that
it.
was not real life." I'm like, "No, but we've got pictures of this." So yeah.
All right. That's cool. But who wants to go next? And Kerrie, you probably do need a little bit more wine. There's
Stop.
some
Okay.
right here.
Here.
You can pour me a little.
Get it in
Oh,
there.
are you drinking
I
red?
poured
It's
it in
okay.
your
You
thumb.
got it on the chips. It's
All
fine.
right.
I'm like, huh.
Oh, this is
Oh, that's a
fancy
lot,
wine.
but-
Oh,
No,
okay.
it's not fancy.
I'm
It's just
literally
tempting, yeah.
licking it off.
Oh, I
It's
need
fine.
more too.
Okay, Jackie.
I feel like
come on, you've got
You
some.
got enough?
I know
Yeah.
you got some.
I know I
weird-
got some
You might have to get some
experiences,
of
but
Jackie's.
okay, so I have New Orleans on the brain because I was there last week
Yes.
eloping,
Reasonable.
right? Okay. So I have a few stories for
that's
you.
your
Yeah,
story.
eloping is.
last week.
Mm-hmm.
What's
Well,
the
on that
craziest
note-
thing you've done?
My mic sounds a little weird. I
You're
might
a
have
little too close.
Mine
close
does
to
too.
something.
No, I think
Wait.
it sounds
wiggly?
softer. Like,
Oh.
right? It's not as loud.
the more wine, the softer.
Does it sound okay to you, Ben? And Ben, are you freaking
I
out?
feel
Like
like
we're
you
way
sound
over your time available, and
Ben's
you're
like,
We'll be
get
fast,
me
we'll
out
getting
of
angry.
this.
So
We're okay. Okay.
So last week in New Orleans, it was supposed to storm all week. Okay, it was rainy. The weather was looking
kind of like the storm
bad.
that came through here. Also
Yeah,
did shit
okay,
in
and
New
we're
Jersey,
getting married under
or
this
New Orleans.
300-year-old tree, and everything's outside. That sounds better, Ben.
Yeah, that does
beautiful.
sound
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Good job.
Pretty.
So I went on Etsy, craft site, and I found a witch, and I paid a witch to cast a spell of clear skies on my wedding day. And I sent this to the girls. This was not an AI thing.
Like
I actually just
these
bought it.
girls or like to your
No,
bridesmaids or
these
something?
These girls, my girls here. She just bought it. Yes, best 5-star Etsy experience. This witch cast a spell. She sent me photos and everything. She wrote our names and everything, and then she lit a fire on the leaf. And sure enough, we had perfect weather. The bride the next day, the wedding in the hotel, not so good. But $15, best $15 I've ever spent.
Okay,
Great
so
experience.
how do you reconcile your Christian faith with
Well,
hiring witches?
so here's the other thing. Like, I am Cajun. My dad grew up in New
Okay,
Orleans.
so it basically is.
So here's my
same
next
shit,
New Orleans
kinda.
story, okay?
All right, I like it.
If you've watched American Horror Story, Coven or something, or if you know of Marie Laveau,
I do.
so supposedly I am a descendant of Marie Laveau. Supposedly.
Is that a witch?
So she was a voodoo queen.
Oh.
And
witch?
she was a voodoo witch. And so I'm a little witchy, I think. I have some stuff, but I am very Christian, and the really hiring the witch
Well,
was
and
kind of a
honestly-
fun thing. But
Well, and like when the Christians were just getting started and stuff, there was kind of some of that witchy stuff, and they were like, we got to kind of figure out what's magic-y, and
well, here's
I think they both have power.
Well,
like
here's-
it was the dark magic that they wanted to be
yes,
careful of.
and here's the kicker about Marie
So
Laveau.
good weather seems like not dark magic. That's like good magic.
Yeah, it's good.
Yes. So Marie Laveau seemed to be prophetic. She seemed to know everything about everyone in the time that she lived, right? Do you know why? Do you know what her profession was? Hairstylist.
Oh,
Interesting.
yeah, she hears it all.
Yeah.
Okay. So she heard it all from the town. And that's why she seemed to be prophetic, because she knew
Interesting.
everyone's business.
Makes sense.
So I am related to Marie Laveau, and that's maybe where my interest in buying a hair salon originated from.
I like it.
Yes.
Have you ever heard of like a history podcast about who's the French not pagan girl, but the French girl that became like the revolutionary leader of that revolution back when? Marie Antoinette.
Yes.
Oh, yeah,
Is that her?
yeah. Well, there's a movie
No,
about
that's
her.
not her.
Wait, no.
I know who
No.
you're talking about. Jean l'Arc.
Joan of Arc.
Joan of Arc.
Yes.
Yes,
Her
yes, Joan of
story
Arc.
is very much kind of more like what your predecessor was talking about. Like, I've had a dream. It's going to come out like this. And after it does, you should trust me on the next one.
Yeah. But I would say that Marie Laveau was a badass entrepreneur of her time. So I'd like to say that I inherited that from her.
I hope so.
I hope so.
I like it.
That's good.
Very interesting.
May your impact
makes
be
a lot of
more
sense.
tremendous and your ending be less tragic.
Right. Exactly. Okay,
my
Kerrie.
Okay. So what was the question again?
The craziest experience that you're willing to describe to our listeners.
Okay. Well, since
Or you
Jack-
can just do it right here and drink like a
Stop.
6-ounce shot of
well, so
mezcal.
I was going to say, since Jackie has talked about something recent, so we've talked about my ducks a couple of times. Let me
Yes.
tell you why I have ducks. So Zach and I, my significant other that I'm not married to, not
Yet.
married, not engaged.
Put a
thanks,
ring
Zach.
on it, Zach. Just
No,
saying.
so Zach and I have been dating for about 5-6 years, and he has a very interesting family. They all have the same hobbies. Like they're all like
Duck
moto.
ranchers?
No, they're all like motocross, dirt
Okay.
bike, BMX riders. Like they all love
Okay.
cars. They all
All
love
right.
bikes. It's a whole thing. So he has a cousin named Derek who lives down in the Denver area, and we went to his son's first birthday party, and somebody brought these ducks as a joke. It was like they stopped at like Tractor Supply on their way to this 1-year-old birthday party, and they were like, "Hey, happy
Here, have
birthday
these ducks."
to Holden, the 1-year-old," and they live in like a subdivision.
Right.
And the mom was like,
We're just going to have to step on
the
these
mom
ducks
was
and put them in the
like,
trash can.
"There's absolutely no fucking way that these ducks are staying
Right.
here. Like, I don't know what's going to
You're a
happen.
foster
This
duck
is
parent.
your problem."
You're a
like,
foster duck parent from the start.
So we show up.
Abandoned.
Well, me and Zach show up late because Zach is late to
Most
things.
of the time.
So we show up late and we are at this birthday party and they keep talking about these baby ducks. And I assume that they're talking about, you know how like geese lay in the spring. So you see all these like baby geese walking around because Canadian geese are a thing here.
Sure.
And I'm like, why are these people so obsessed with these like baby geese? You know, that's what I'm thinking. Well, it turns out there was actually like a tiny box of baby ducks like in the entryway at this birthday party.
Okay.
And they were like, no. We're trying to give away these ducks,
Right, we want
and
people
no
to take
one
a duck
wants
home.
them
Take a duck home in your pocket.
because all of our friends live in Denver,
Right.
and
Who
they
the
have
hell wants a
like
duck?
HOAs and shit. Well,
Right.
Zach and
you might as
I-
well have 5 ducks instead of 1 duck.
Well, so they call
'cause
that
they're the
duck
same
math.
amount of
It's
worth.
like chicken math. But so Zach and I, it's so funny. We had just got this property. We live in North Fort Collins and we have 3 acres. And we didn't have anything set up. Like, we didn't have anything figured out.
Yeah.
And so they were
But
like,
you do have land.
but then Zach's like, should we take the ducks? And I'm like, you're joking. And he's like, no, should we take the ducks? And I'm like, what do we do with them when we take them? Like, I have no idea. I've never set up a brooder before. Like, I have
Do you have water on
no
the property?
context.
No.
We have 2 lakes around us,
Okay.
but they're not like the
They're not
ducks
allowed
don't
to
go
go.
there because they'll never come back. So we don't know what we're doing. And we end up taking these baby ducks and we're like driving home and I'm like, is Jack's still open? Can we like go to Jack's and buy a heat lamp and something to put them in? We put them in like a Rubbermaid tote on night 1 because I was like, what do you do? And so I'm like researching it. Anyway, so long story short, Holden, who it was his 1-year birthday, he just turned 4.
This is...
And I have several ducks and a custom built duck coop and a fenced in area and an in-ground pond. And so it was just like the funniest thing because I have a TikTok dedicated to them, the Rustic Cat Ranch. And
Is it like one of your most famous TikTok channels?
it's like,
She's TikTok famous.
it's
You are
like,
on the Duck channel, probably.
no, well, Duck Talk is a thing.
Right, nobody gives a shit about the Mayorettes, but they're like, shit,
Literally, no one gives a shit about the
duck fucking
Mayorettes.
clips. Yeah.
No, it's so funny though.
I mean,
like,
they do. I'm sure they do. Otherwise,
Not on TikTok.
right.
not on TikTok. No,
Actually, Local
Are
Experience
you-
does pretty well on TikTok.
are you on TikTok? Do
Yeah.
you have like a chicken TikTok? Because you have chickens.
No, but I should.
So there is a lot
But my
of
chicken
information.
videos go very well. I have a new hatch in my chicken coop where I can just like lift up the hatch and dump
Yeah.
my leftovers from the fridge.
So
in there.
I built an
That's great.
entire custom coop for my ducks.
Did a duck coop.
And I
Did it have a
hired
swimming area?
I like hired a general contractor.
really?
Like I
Oh,
literally
damn.
built a
You're
custom
invested.
coop to match our barn. It's a whole thing.
But you don't have any chickens.
No chickens.
So you have hens.
I only have ducks.
You only have male ducks.
I have 1 male duck and the rest are females. And I'm actually incubating right now. trying
But
to
so
make
you
some
get
babies.
eggs. You get some
I get
duck eggs.
yeah, I get eggs.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that male duck gets like a lot of action.
The male duck, I call him Mr. B. We call him Bubbles. I actually had a Bubbles previously. Long story.
It's smart to have only
he's-
one male.
He's an asshole.
thing.
So there are male ducks
Just
that are
saying.
mean, and
Yeah.
then there are male ducks that are like the girls want it. They're like,
they
hey,
want that
baby.
courtship
And
pecker.
my
Yeah,
girl
so they're
ducks
romances.
love the man.
Oh,
they
nice.
like follow him around.
So
they
they got
fight
Rico
over him.
Suave. So
yeah.
there, it's like an Amazon.
Yeah.
duck
He
ranch.
chases me and tries to like attack me, and I'm like,
Dude, get your
Like, I
girls.
feed
They
you.
actually
Calm down.
want you.
but yeah, so that's the weirdest shit that I've ever done because first of all, I spend my entire day on the internet. And so like I'm always online
Yeah,
and then I go home and I'm like, hey, let me hang out with these like waterfowl.
Like I have to give them water and food for them to stay alive.
I give them
and-
dried mealworms. I'm like, oh, this is the best part of my day is hanging out with birds. It's fine.
The duck culture is wild.
You like it though.
I do.
Yes.
Do you guys have any last questions of me before we wrap this up? Because we are
No.
definitely over
No.
normal time.
No.
Has it been fun?
Yeah.
Super fun.
Yeah.
Great.
Wow.
Yay.
Loved it.
Did we live up to your expectations?
I think so.
Ben!
Ben, let's shut this thing down. To find the Mayorettes, I guess go to their Instagram page and their
Instagram.
future website, which will be, I assume you have the real estate, themayorettes.com or
Yes.
some
Yeah, we
bullshit.
do.
Yes. Go to Instagram for now. And if you don't have Instagram, then just hang tight.
And if you know a website company that could,
Shut. I will fight you. See, now we're getting into the Brighton.
I could make you punch me. I could make you punch me.
I
in
don't
the next
want to
30
punch
minutes.
you, but
No,
I will
know.
punch you.
I believe that. I believe both things. I could make everybody in this room punch me in the next 30 minutes if I tried.
Julie is from
won't.
Jersey.
I really don't.
I do.
I
have
don't
a
want
Jersey
to.
in me,
Yeah.
No, I think that if there are nonprofits that are listening, I think it's reaching out and just being able to connect with us and be open with us, I think is really going to be valuable.
And if you put a extra bottle of wine at the Mayorettes table,
Yeah, not gonna hate it.
it won't hurt
Not
it.
gonna hate
Won't
it.
hurt the
Sauv Blanc and Pinot
situation.
Noir.
Yeah.
Sauv Blanc, Pinot
White and
Noir.
red.
Thanks, you guys.
Thank
Appreciate you.
Appreciate
That's
it.
great.
Kurt.
Hi, this is Kurt Baer, host of the Loco Experience, and I wanted to let our listeners know that beginning in June of 2026, we're going to be releasing podcast episodes on Wednesday mornings instead of on Saturdays. So we've tested Saturdays for a while. Meh. Honestly, we were better on Wednesdays before, so we're heading back to that, and I hope to see you there every Wednesday with a new episode of the Loco Experience.